We are back for year 3 as a head coach of Washington in NFL Head Coach '09, and it is a very crucial year 3. We have kind of, little by little molded this team into our own image. We still have a lot of the players that we inherited, but we also have a number of players that we have now drafted. We get to see the debut, and I know it's just a left tackle, maybe not the most exciting thing in the world, but how about a generational left tackle? 93 overall before ever taking the field in a regular season game, and 97 potential. And this offseason, previously, we left ourselves wide open to what we could do and what we wanted to do. We went in on the offensive line. Sam Cumberland was also a draft pick. We drafted Cliff Kennedy the year previously. Randy Thomas is still here, and Howard Sanders is another rookie. 3 rookies on the offensive line, 3 very talented rookies, and that should help our quarterback Jared May out a lot. On the defensive side of the football, which was really difficult, we filled it more with veterans. We drafted Michael Poe, but we traded for Tommy Harris. We signed Thomas Howard and Charles Woodson, Chris Gamble, a little bit more of a temporary rental pieces for us in the secondary. That was really rough, but this team, we made a lot of moves to improve it, and while there still is weaknesses and while we still have question marks about second-year quarterback Jared May, we have opened ourselves up for a little bit more of an opportunity for success on both sides of the football. We are looking for improvement. We started this series going 7-9, then 8-8. So we're going to see what this next year has for us. Can we make the playoffs in year 3? But most importantly, what new stars will join us in the NFL?
Adam Schefter of NFL Network here with your first college football update of the new season. It's great to have football once again. Arizona State has started off red hot this month behind the passing of junior Jake Denali. He had 400 yards passing in both of their wins against top 25 opponents, Wisconsin and Oregon State. Another team that really started out fast out of the gates is Michigan. They took down preseason number 2 Notre Dame at South Bend behind a magical 12-catch, 250-yard, 3-touchdown performance by junior TJ Nunn. Nunn is not a big guy, but he has blazing speed and is a hold-your-breath type of player every time he touches the ball in his hands. That's it for this month, folks. I'll check back in with you next month with more news and player updates from the college football season.
Always great to have those draft stories, but right before we get into our Week 1 game, we'll check out our season goals. They want us to beat the Colts in Week 4, which is going to be a very tough task. They are like one of the most difficult teams to beat in this game. They want us to win 3 of our first 4. A lot of re-signing players. They want us to re-sign Clinton Portis, Santana Moss, Mike Vrabel. We'll see. Those are 3 of our older players. They also want us to potentially finish, top 10 in offense and defense and have approval. Some of those things will hurt us. Some of those things, just strict bonuses. We won't lose anything if we don't win Coach of the Year, stuff like that. But let's get into Week 1 where we take on the Chicago Bears. And right now to start the fourth quarter, it is 13-10. And we started off last year very rough. It was I believe, 0-3 starts. Then we go win 4 straight. We go hot and cold, win some, lose some, ultimately finish the season 500. We want to get off to a faster start this time around. We added a couple of new plays into the playbook. We, little by little, as this team continues to grow together, open up the offense. Going to be Cooley in motion. We have a lot of guys out on that left side to block as it's going to be the handoff to Clinton Portis coming off of his 20 touchdown season last year. Looking to put up similar numbers as we have Portis being the engine for this offense. A first down carry here as he gets to the 49-yard line. Now, play action. May to throw. He's going to go right over the middle, and that's going to be Brian Urlacher with the deflection. 3rd down and 10, spreading the field. May over the middle. That's going to be caught. And turning it upfield. He's going to try to make some moves to get to the marker. He's not going to get there. And it's going to be 4th down and 3. So we'll punt the football away. It's a little bit of a wobbler, but it's not going to be a long punt, but a effective one. Downed at the 6, and Chicago's got a long way to go with 6.5 to play as they'll throw a one-on-one ball. That's going to be caught. And the secondary, are they going to be a bit of an issue for us this season as well? We had arguably the worst defense in the league, us and the Raiders. The only difference between us and the Raiders was they had the greatest offense to ever play. So unless we want to put up those types of offensive numbers, it's not going to be very good for us if we can't go out here and improve off last year. We got a new defensive coordinator and new pieces on every level of the defense as we get the stop there. force fourth down. We get the football back with 5 to go, and May with the clean pocket. The offensive line is going to be big for us this year. We made so much improvements on it, so I mean, to get protection like that is going to be important for any young quarterback. As Portis with the carry, and Clinton Portis for the first down, gain of 8, first down and 10. It's going to be play action, rolling out left. May throws it back right, and that's going to be caught to Fazio Combs. Safety was sitting on it, but Combs snagged it away from him, and now in score position. He gets blown up. May couldn't even get the handoff out to Portis. Now 3rd down and 14. Blocking is phenomenal as May throws it up. That's going to be in coverage. Those 3 Bears, 3 Washington players all in the area. None of them ended up with it. We'll take the field goal try, though, as the kick is on its way. It's through the uprights, and a 6-point lead with 3.5 to go for the defense to hold. They've done pretty solid so far, just 10 points allowed, but can they shut the door on this one? Good time in the pocket, as that's going to be up in the air, and even though Vrabel looked like got a hand on it potentially, it's still going to be reeled in, and now the handoff to the edge. He's going to step arm, spin. The spin was really unnecessary, but he still got a decent gain, 3rd down and 5. That ball swatted at the line and went under 3 to go. It's going to be up to the offense now to try to put this one away. Clinton Portis up the middle, and a 12-yard gain. How about back to it right before the 2-minute warning? Portis, he's got another good lane, and Clinton Portis for 15. And the run game picking up right where it left off last year, but a stop in the backfield for the Bears sets up 2nd and 10. Portis again. That's going to be no gain and a penalty. So it's looking like a first down's not going to be in our future, but we can at least make the Bears wind out all their timeouts. 2nd down and 20. May's going to go to the air. He's going to throw one up, and that's going to be incomplete. Dangerous ball there. We wanted to throw it, but we didn't want to put that ball into harm's way. Catch is going to be made there. No first down, but Bears are going to be left with just a single timeout. 1:45 is still plenty of time, though, and while they are asking for us to potentially go for it, if it were 4th and 2, 4th and 3 even, I think I would consider it, but 4th down and 11, I'm just going to punt the football away, and maybe the approval will go down for that one, but the approval will go back up if we can take care of business here and win this game. Got a good punt last time, got him at the 6-yard line this time around. Not a good punt to the 23, so plenty of time and opportunity for this Bears roster. That ball is going to be incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Throwing middle, caught, and that's going to be a gain of almost 20 yards. It's going to be 19 on the play as they'll throw outside. Caught again, and that's going to be another 7-yard gain. 3rd down and 3, under a minute to go. They are moving it down the field with another first down grab inside the 40-yard line. Defense just keep tackling them in bounds, at least try to run up this clock. Blitz set in, and that's going to be a sack. The nickel blitz did its job, and now 3rd and 14. The blitz set in again, and this time they beat it. First down, 19 seconds to play. They burn their final timeout. 1st and 10 from the 26. Everyone in the end zone, throwing it up. It's caught, and he falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. And that is going to be a lead for Chicago with 14 seconds to play. And are you serious? In the first game of the season, we're going to allow that to be the end, as the kickoff's only going to get us past the 30-yard line. We got 10 seconds. We do have a timeout. If you throw one up, complete it, call a timeout, you can maybe kick a long field goal. And what kind of noodle arm does our quarterback have? Jared May just lets that ball wobble up in the air and go to the ground. Now we have to get a miracle 67-yard touchdown. I don't think Jaden Daniels is here on this team to do that, as that ball a lot further this time, but it's incomplete. And that will be game. We drop our first one. Jared May, rough one, 46 pass attempts, and didn't complete a whole lot of them, but Clinton Portis 100 yards on the ground. We were in control of this game. We had the football for majority of it. Combs had 100 yards through the air, but it's just rough to drop that one, especially because of how scared we are of starting like we did last year. But pressure got in there, 4 sacks for the defense, and you know, the defense did just look better in general. So we are going to go out there and make one quick little move before our next one. I do think backup running back is very important for us, and you know, with our options out there, there's a couple of young stars who they are without a home, and 81 overall in this game is a little bit different than 81 overall in other games. 81 overall is not deemed to be all that great, but still a lot better than the backup we currently have. So Chuck Whitfield, who, you know, didn't, I guess, make the roster after his rookie season, is going to be who we signed to just be a backup running back for us. Second game of the season, staying in the NFC North. It's going to be against the Lions. We go into the fourth quarter up 24-0 against this brutal Lions team who still has Josh Betts playing quarterback for them. And while we are up 24-0, it's going to be an interception from Jared May, and it's going to be a face mask, then setting the Lions up to potentially get into the end zone, and they do. Maceo Sweeney gets the touchdown, so 24-6 after a missed 2-point conversion. We do recover the onside kick, but the offense is not going to be able to put this thing completely away. It looks like, yeah, 4th down and 7, and a missed field goal by Janikowski. So just kind of seeing if there's a reason for us to hop into this one. The Lions score here, which they do. It's going to be at least enough for us to hop in with 3 minutes to play. We will hop in to try to seal this one up as we get the football at the 45-yard line following recovering the onside kick, as Clinton Portis will get a 1-yard gain. Now go back to him on the ground. He'll get stopped in the backfield, and that is going to be 3rd down and 12. 2-minute warning has hit, and the Lions could get the football back here to try to pull themselves within 1 score, but that's going to be a strike over the middle to Clinton Portis out of the backfield for the 1st down. And the Lions have to use their timeout, so could be a quick little game ender here as Portis up the middle for the 1st down, and he's running it so well to start this season, the first 2 games, and he is looking every bit the star player that he was last year for us. Another 1st down will end this one. 2nd down and 4. It's going to be Portis up the middle. He's going to get stopped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. 3rd down and 6, though. We're going to go to the air with 30 seconds to play. Underneath, Clinton Portis does it, and he makes the 1st down grab. And Jared May actually had a pretty solid game, 20-28 for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Portis with another 100-yard game. We ran the football quite a bit on this this game. I mean, my goodness, even Chuck Whitfield got some carries. Antoine Randall with 132 yards through the air. Santana Moss with a touchdown grab. 3 sacks for Thomas Howard, and an acquisition he could be proven to be, as he's already got 4 sacks on the season in the first 2 games. But now in this one, it is not looking so well in week 3, our division opener against Philadelphia. We are down 34-13, and Jared May, back-to-back incomplete passes, 4th down and 9. Could be your game already, but that's a strike over the middle, gonna be caught. And DeFazio Combs breaking a tackle, and Combs to the 38-yard line as May gets sacked out the edge. Free rusher came in, 2nd and 16. May, he's going to get sacked again. And now 3rd and 23. Blocking needs to hold up a little bit better, and they do. Now throwing a football up in the air. Knocked away. 4th and 23 as another big 4th down conversion's going to go our way. I guess this one's not over quite yet, but 5 minutes to go. May, middle, caught, Moss, broken tackle, make it 2. Santana Moss down to the 3-yard line and May to the air. Quick pass underneath, Santana Moss, touchdown. And that is going to pull it within 2 scores. So 14-point game, still enough time. And I do think the onside kick's probably the best way to go here, especially considering our defense is allowed 34 points. And, you know, I would imagine that the defense is going to need a little bit of time to, you know, fully mesh together, gel together. New defensive coordinator, but 34 points on the board, never going to be acceptable, as that's going to be scooped up by Philly. Man, we have not recovered like any of these onside kicks whenever we do them, but the defense there gets a deflection. 2nd down and 10 as Cobb the throw, and he has got an open man over the middle, but it hits him at his feet. That's just a bad throw. Now 3rd down, handoff to Brian Westbrook, who is not going to get far, and at the 39-yard line. Field goal a little too long for them to feel comfortable kicking. They're going to pump the football back to us. We'll have it at the 20-yard line. 4 minutes to play, so only 30 seconds taken off the clock there. Philly didn't do the best of jobs trying to run off the time, but under 4 minutes to go after a sack. May underneath, that's going to be caught, and we'll get a lot of those yards back and more. 3rd down and 7 as May over the middle, caught, and that's Santana Moss again coming up big. Now 3 minutes to go, and May to Moss, incomplete. 3rd down and 10, they go play action. May off his back foot, and that's caught for DeFazio Combs. I think the defender just straight up missed that one. 2.5 to go, and we are in enemy territory. May throws it up for Antoine Randall. It's caught, and inside the 5 before the 2-minute warning, he gets it out. That's caught. Touchdown, Fred Davis. And we have just a 7-point deficit all of a sudden with 2 minutes to play. And I mean, I don't want to give him the football back, so, well, let's trot out the onside kick unit once again. I mean, we have our timeouts. We have the 2-minute warning as a timeout. But the thing is, we're going to need a 3-and-out basically regardless. If we get a 3-and-out, we could still hold them out of field goal range. You got to play, you know, maybe how things were played back in, you know, the 2000s, 2010s. Kickers just weren't as good. They recover the onside kick. Now from the 36-yard line, Cobb hands up. That's going to be Brian Westbrook. And, you know, maybe it's not going to work out for us because they are in field goal range, but a loss there could help us out. 3rd down and 6 from the 32. As goes Westbrook to the edge. Westbrook does get inside the 30, so it will be a field goal try from 46. Akers' kick is no good. That might have been short, and it was wide right. We get the football back, and we have a chance to pull off this comeback. And when you're thrown into double coverage and Santana Moss comes up with it, anything is possible. May sheds a sack and delivers, and that's gonna be Zimmerman, the 4th receiver. A minute to go, and in the red zone we try a sneaky run there. We have time though. A minute to play from the 15. 2nd and 10. May throws it back left. That should have been picked. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 10. May floats one out. That ball hangs up in the air. Intercepted. And not only is it going to be a pick, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to track him down. Is it Pursuit? But he will take it all the way. Touchdown. And Philly is going to shut the door on that one. Jared May actually did have a really good game, but when it mattered most, threw an interception. Not only that, it threw a pick 6. I think my biggest problem with Jared May so far has just been, I mean, especially with that out route, you could see he just kind of floated that football out there, and there was just not enough zip. There was not enough urgency with that pass. It just kind of floated out there, and when you give defenders time to close in on the football, that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, he may be at times a pretty accurate thrower, but he's just got a pretty weak arm, and that's something we're going to have to overcome. Now in week 4, this is the tough game right here. But to start the 4th quarter against the Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, and all these talented players, it is going to be 27-27. The Colts in this game are like Oregon in college football 25. They just are inevitable, it feels like, and no matter what happens, Peyton Manning just finds a way. This team is like the algorithm in this game. So to be in position to potentially win this game here in the 4th quarter as Manning loads up, throws it deep. Did he get that foot in? Yes, he did. They say it's a catch, and Manning over the middle. That's going to be caught. And inside the 15-yard line, as they're already in position to try to take this lead. Peyton, he goes down. That's a sack. And that was Abby Amiri getting in there, I'm pretty sure. 6.5 to go. Manning floats that one over the middle. And that's, I think we got away with one there. That could have been pass interference, but that's going to be a field goal. Kick is good. And 30-27 is your score. Kickoff back deep to Santana Moss, who has been unbelievable as a return man. Can he have another magical moment in him as Moss is going to make a man miss to the edge? Santana Moss has passed the 40. Santana Moss close to midfield, and we are set up greatly as Clinton Portis is going to have it for a 1-yard carry. 3rd down and 6 is going to be play action. May off his back foot, and that's going to get over the defense, and that's caught for Stefazio Combs, and that is huge. I didn't know if he was going to get that over the defense, but he did. 5 minutes to go, and May spreads the field. He'll go to Zimmerman, and that's going to be broken up. The young receiver who is trying to earn some more reps is not going to be able to hang on to that one, but guess who does? It's Santana Moss, as it's going to be Stefazio Combs and Moss trying to tag team their way down the field, as that's a catch for Cooley underneath. Short one, but 3rd down and 4 as Portis right up the middle. Clinton Portis, touchdown. 34-30 is your score, and with 3:30 to go, it's going to be up to Peyton Manning to come out here and try to score a touchdown to win this game. As Addae with the fumble! Joseph Addae put it on the ground. It's scooped up. Washington has it. And with 3 minutes to go, Washington can put this one away. And what an upset it would be here at home. Prime time in the rain against Peyton Manning's Colts. As that's going to be 2 runs to set up 3rd down and 5. Fringe field goal range. Portis up the middle. He's got the 1st down and more. Clinton Portis, he's got it to the 25. And last play before the 2-minute warning, potentially Portis. He puts the ball on the ground. It's scooped up. The Colts have it back in the It's playing a factor in this one. Manning has another try at it, and that's going to be caught for a gain of 9. 2:12 to play. Hand off. Joseph Addai on the edge, and he's got blocking, and he's got a pass midfield to the 44-yard line. 2-minute warning is hit. Manning to throw it. He's got pressure set in, but he delivers. And now to the 30. Manning, what has he got for him this time? Outside, open man, Anthony Gonzalez. He's got it to the 15-yard line, and just a couple of plays away potentially from taking the lead. He's got a curl route, and he's in for the touchdown. He fought his way in. Jared Mady, you got a big moment in you as he delivers a pass. That's going to be DeFazio Combs on the slant. He's going to get it to the 46-yard line. Under a minute to play. We got all of our timeouts. May throws it up top. It's incomplete. And tested Bob Sanders there, 3rd down and 10. As May, middle wide open man. That's Zimmerman. First down, we got to burn one there. 44 seconds to play. May is got an open man, and that's going to be incomplete. Ball slipped out. Rain probably plays a factor there. 40 seconds to go. Right down the middle. Caught Antoine Randall to the 10. And we are looking to potentially just take our time here as it's 30 seconds to play. We don't need to try too hard here. We don't want to give the Colts any time left. We have the field goal in our back pocket if we want it to send this to overtime. We're going to hand this football off. Clinton Portis. It's going to get upended. And that will result in us using a timeout. 22 seconds to play as May will look. He will throw. He's got it swatted at the line. 3rd and goal from the 11. Take maybe one shot at the end zone here. May, he's got it right at the goal line. It's caught! And it's not in the end zone. They say at the 1. They say Combs is down at the 1-yard line. And it's 37-34 with 1 play left in regulation. Do we kick the field goal to send it to overtime, or do we go for it? And you already know, with an opportunity to beat the Colts here in a big primetime matchup with 1 yard to go, we want to go for it. We're going to go to our best player, our best versus your best. Clinton Portis versus his Colts D-line as clock's running out. 4 seconds to play. Man in motion. Handoff. It's going to be to Portis. He's not going to get it. And that's going to be a Colts victory as we were 1 yard short from beating the Colts. And that is a heartbreaker for us, as that ball, I wanted to take one shot to the end zone. I dialed up a play to get him like right at the goal line, and it was just a yard short. That was just unfortunate. If it was just not even a yard, maybe like a foot further, we would have had the touchdown there. And when you got that close, we went for it, and I don't think that's a bad call to try to get 1 yard. If you can't trust your offense to get 1 yard, then I don't know if you have a good offense, and it just didn't go our way that time. So in our next game, we are falling to 1-3, so it's a must-win here. We started the season 0-3 last year, 1-3 this year. In week 3, the Eagles had a 21-point lead. We came all the way back, and a Jared May pick 6 ended our hopes of tying the game. Today, on the road, we are up by 13 as we get both of our Eagles games out the way early on this season. 4th down for Kevin Cobb as he has an open man. 1st down and more, he breaks the tackle, and a 4th down and 10 turns to a touchdown. 30-24 with 7 to play. We need this game badly as the kick is fielded at the 10-yard line. It's going to be Moss. He's going to go right now, cut back left. Santana Moss. He's going to get to the 40-yard line, and we will have good field position again. Portis to the edge, and look at Clinton Portis past the 50, and Portis, he's got 20, and he's got more than that, 25 yards for a big run to set us up. Already in field goal range. Portis, step arm, Clinton Portis. He's got it to the 25-yard line, and look at how effective this run game is. The Eagles snuffed that one out, though. 3rd down and 13, just like that, is over the middle, incomplete, right into a defender's hands. We got bailed out there. Field goal, though, is going to give us the 2-score lead, and that is ultimately what we cared about on this drive. That was the goal. But Clinton Portis, he suffered a arm injury. He's out for the rest of this game, and we'll see if he is going to be out any longer than that, as that ball is going to be, they're going to count that as a catch fumble out of bounds. That could have been listed incomplete. Regardless, it's 3rd and 14, and he's got an open man, and I don't know, I think that was Charles Woodson. I don't know if he was just not paying attention out there. I don't know if he's got a little old age Gage getting to him or anything, but that is going to be a bad play, and the defense gets stiff-armed there for a first down run, and now to the edge. There he goes once more. This ain't even Brian Westbrook. I don't even know who that is. He's number 45, as that's going to be Jamoris Cook. You can see down there at the bottom. I don't know who that is, but a penalty for Philly. False start. 2nd and 1 turns to 2nd down and 6 as Cobb is going to throw. He's going to go middle, double coverage. Tipped and incomplete. Both teams missing their starting running back. Both teams missing Portis and Westbrook, and it's up to the quarterbacks as Kevin Cobb delivers a first down there. 3.5 to go. Cobb up top, caught, and touchdown. Right over Chris Gamble, I believe. And that's going to make it 33-31 as we now need to try to survive the rest of this game without Clinton Portis, as it's going to be Jared May to throw. Open, man, wide open is Antoine Randall. That's huge, and he gets to the 42-yard line. So now 2-minute warning as we got to go to Chuck Whitfield for the game here on the line, and he's going to get just 2 yards. Timeout being used by Philly right up the middle. That's just great blocking, and Whitfield is not going to quite get there. We're going to go with the sneak right up the middle, and he's got the first down, and that'll do it. So we were able to survive that one. We do tack on a field goal at the very end because that was really unnecessary, but Clinton Portis ends up with 98 yards, but you could definitely see the drop-off when it's not Clinton Portis running the football for us. It is just way down there as Harris gets a sack, Howard gets a pick, and with scouting upcoming, we have more draft stories to talk about, but that was a big win for us to get. Much needed at 2-3 now in the season.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network back with another college football update. Arizona State continues to roll behind that high-flying offense and quarterback Jake Denali. Denali is now everyone's #1 Heisman contender after taking ASU to 5-0 and #2 in the polls. One team that really disappointed people is Notre Dame. Those poor Fighting Irish. From preseason #2 to unranked with a 2-3 record. Can't blame wide receiver Mike Fitzgerald for the Irish troubles. He leads the nation right now in receiving yardage and touchdowns. That's it for this month, folks. I'll check back with you very soon.
I don't know if last season and the 5 games that we've seen so far this year have given you enough confidence to let you know that Jared May is the future quarterback or not, but this QB class has a couple of names here to look at. Jarrett Ball, Sugar Campbell, Anquan Taylor, who a fun comp of Dante Culpepper, and then Jake Denali, who's been talked about pretty heavily in both of these first 2 draft stories. So, I mean, I don't know if Jared May has inspired confidence in this team, but hey, 2-3 on the season. He's had some good performances. I mean, he threw for almost 500 against the Colts, but is that a product of our offense, or is that a product of, well, it's just, you know, he's that good. I don't know if he is that good. Santana Moss's contract negotiations are upon us, and Moss looking for 2 years, $10 million. So this is basically a 1-year extension because when you sign people during the season, it counts for this year. So this is basically a 1-year extension for Santana Moss, which if I can string him along for 1-year extensions while he's 30 and beyond, happy to do that. I would love for Santana Moss to retire in Washington just like he did in real life, because Santana Moss, I mean, personally, you know, me personally, a little bias here, one of my all-time favorite players, as we are also looking at contract talks for Clinton Portis. Now, it's a little scary. Portis is 29. I mean, if you know about running backs, you know 29 is like a death sentence for him. When a running back hits 29, they fall off a cliff. And for all we know, this could be the last good year of Clinton Portis. Now, do we want to give him a 4-year total deal and basically a 3-year extension? I don't know, because that would put him until he's 32, 33 and beyond. I don't know if I want to do that for a running back, especially, like, it's just rough, you know, and he literally did just come off an injury. He's fine for now, but will injuries start to pile up for Portis? What's it gonna look like? You know, this season, if it was a 1-year extension, I'm fine with that, but beyond that, I'm not looking to pay him $7 million a year. I just don't know if that's the move. So this could be the last season we see of Clinton Portis. Maybe we franchise tag him. Maybe he gives us a reason to get rid of him. Maybe we keep him. I don't know. But I don't think now is the time to re-sign him. As we hop into our next game, and things are looking good right now, as it's 28-17 on the road at Houston, as we are trying to claw back to 3-3 on the season, just like we did last year. and it is going to be pretty similar to how last year went. We didn't start 0-3, we started 1-3, but you know, with how slow we started, we eventually found ourselves at 4-3. Could be a similar thing this year if we can get on a little win streak, as that ball's going to be broken up. If we could force the field goal here on 3rd and 14, it'd be huge. As Schaub, middle, wide open, man. We really got to get on that one a little bit quicker, as it's going to be 1st and goal from the 9. Schaub, end zone, caught, touchdown. And they have cut it down 28-23, 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. Quick pass, caught. And that is Jacoby Jones. Rest in peace, Jacoby Jones. Loved him when he was in the Ravens. But never forget, he started his career in Houston, as the kickoff back deep is going to be Santana Moss to the 30-yard line. He goes, and Santana Moss to the 40. And Moss, he hasn't broken one out for a touchdown yet, but a couple of returns close to midfield so far this season. It's a big asset to be able to start your drives close to midfield, as May will hand it off. There goes Portis. He's going to run over a man, and Clinton Portis is going to get the first down. I think he really wants a contract extension here, as Portis to the edge he goes once more. And Portis has got another 8 yards and another good game. And now we're going to try to see if we can continue to ride him on the ground, but no play action this time around. Well, he could go through him on the ground. He could go through him through the air. He's going to get the first down grab there, as now 4:30 to go. Portis just sticking with him every single play, but now on 3rd down, finally having to throw at May. He's going to almost throw a pick. This is why we keep it on the ground, because Jared May gives us no reason to have confidence, and we missed the field goal too. And now the Texans have the door wide open for him. Well, defense, can you get a stop here? It's not a good start to the drive. A big 11-yard run. Now go back stretch the other way. This time in the backfield, it gets blown up. 2nd and 14, Schaub. He's going to look, throw, that's caught. Not quite the first down, the 3rd and 1. Stretch left, and it's going to be blown up in the backfield. And we will get the football back. Can we put this one away and get a crucial victory to get back to 500? 2-minute warning is upon us with this carry. Portis, first down. They give it to him. And now with under 2 to go, another first down can end it. Jared May, and that's going to be caught. Antoine Randall, but there's a flag down, and I guess we're going to have to do it again. And this time it won't be with 9 yards to go. We'll have to go 19. So let's spread the field out. Get this first down to a wide open man. Zimmerman, he's got the first down. That'll do it. And Jared May puts up a stinker. 4 interceptions. And the Texans had a lot of opportunities in this one, but thank goodness Clinton Portis ran for 160 in the game. But 4 interceptions, a missed field goal, and plenty of chances for the Texans to win this game, but not to be it. So I guess, you know, even though we allowed 25 points, I got to give the defense a lot of credit. You know, if we go and allow 4 interceptions, missed field goal, and you know, probably they got a lot of good field positions, so I'm not going to be mad at the defense allowing 25 points there. We still got the job done, and now we take on the Dallas Cowboys. We were rough in our division last year. The Cowboys are going to get a field goal that they missed to start the 4th quarter, and that is going to still be our lead. That is crazy. A short field goal is missed. 31-28 is your score. We might very well go 3 and out here, as May off his back foot. He's going to have it incomplete. He really didn't need to throw up his back foot, but his pocket presence is atrocious at times, as now we punt the football away. 2nd down and 9. Romo has it in great field position. They check it down underneath. That's going to be Marion Barber. That'll get him 7 yards and a 3rd down and 2, but they spread the field. Romo 5 wide. We send the blitz, but that's going to be caught, and we sent everyone, and we got nothing for it, as Barber will take the carry. He'll go wide right, and Barber is not going to have the speed to get to the edge. He'll lose one. 5.5 to play. Man in motion for Romo, as he'll take the snap, throw it underneath to the drag route, and it will be a short game, but he's fighting. He gets a couple extra yards on that one. 3rd and 2. Barber, he'll have the first, make a man miss, and get brought down. So now at the 26-yard line, they missed the field goal on the last drive, and that's going to be a sack. They missed the field goal last drive, though, and they might be in a situation where they got to try another one, and that's going to be what it is, an incomplete pass, field goal try. This time, it is through the uprights, and it will be a tie game. 4 minutes to play as we got to turn to the offense and hope that this ground game can get us in a good range as Portis gets another first down carry, and Portis has just been so good, but Jared May intercepted, and the Cowboys have it back. That's a swat at the line. Impressive job there. 3rd down and 8. And the defense, Romo breaks a sack, but he will not get too far. He gets 4 yards, but it'll be our football regardless. May has another try added. He'll have a wide open man. That's going to be DeFazio. Combs, they're going to tackle, and Combs, it gets a big gain. And now we're past midfield. Clinton Portis, he'll break 1, not 2, and he'll go down for a 4-yard gain. 3rd down and 6. May over the middle, and that was a double coverage. It's incomplete, and from the 43, we are not trying a 60-yarder. And the kick is gonna be bouncing at the 3, and that's basically a touchback. That is about as close to the 1-yard line as you can possibly be. But Barber fights out of the end zone. It's gonna be 2nd down and 9, as that is not a safety somehow. How is that not a safety? How is that not a touchback? This questionable spotting. 3rd down and 10 from the inch-yard line as they will toss it outright. Barber, he's got room. Barber, there's no way you gotta catch him, but he's creating separation, and Marion Barber is gonna have a 99-yard touchdown with under a minute to play. The Cowboys wanted to take it to overtime, and instead they get a 99-yard touchdown. You gotta be kidding me. As we are gonna get a broken tackle here and a big grab. 30 seconds to go. It's not done yet. Blitz sent in. May goes down. 20 seconds to go. We're out of timeouts, and Jared May has a incomplete pass. 3rd down and 14. We're sending everyone to the end zone. We can't afford to get tackled in bounds. May, got to get rid of it. He does. In the end zone. It's incomplete. Last try. 4th and 14. Everyone to the end zone. 35 yards out. May to the end zone. It's tipped and caught. It's caught. But they say incomplete. They say it was out of bounds. And we're going to get another look at that one. It was tipped and caught, but they say he didn't get his feet in bounds. And this is got to be one of the most heartbreaking ways you can lose a game. We go down to the Cowboys in just brutal fashion. Barber, I mean, my goodness, the run was so long, they counted it as a 100-yard run. The NFL's first 100-yard run is how we lose the game. And not only that, a tipped Hail Mary that we couldn't get our foot down in bounds. They didn't even review it. Like, we find very impressive ways to lose games. At least if we could talk about a positive, though, it's 30-3 to start the 4th quarter at Green Bay. And it will be a touchdown from Dante Culpepper, which gives them still a 20-point deficit, and we are just trying to see if we can hold on to this one, but this team has been prone to doing a lot of stupid stuff, choking a lot of games. So we will try to go for it here on 4th down and 1. Fullback dive is not going to go our way. How do you lose 3 yards on a fullback dive? To try to get the first down there, and now the Packers find themselves inside the 5. Touchdown again. How about 30-17? And May, with the football back, is going to try to run up this clock. It's 4th and inches again, and I guess we'll go for it again. Let's double down, and he does get it this time around. 3 minutes to play, and we are just trying to seal this one up. Baker's getting carries. Whitfield's getting carries. I'm not seeing a whole lot of Clinton Portis, but now we punt the football away. Jordy Nelson gets a 33-yarder and an unnecessary roughness, and now another 26-yarder. There is no way we are somehow choking this one away. With 2 minutes to go, just over that, the Packers are at the 6-yard line, and I guess we're going to hop in. Are we going to blow a 30-3 lead here? 2 minutes to go. Culpepper, end zone, touchdown wide open, and it's 30-24. It was 30-3 just 6 minutes ago, and now we got to come out here and try to seal this one up. Portis up the middle. First down. We still need another one of those if we want to end it. To the edge. Portis, no good. Loss of 2. As now we go to the air. Jared May has an open man over the middle. Caught. And a first down. Okay. Just had to go in and seal that one up. But what is going on? Even when we win. It's not pretty. Portis runs for 3 touchdowns, 97 yards, and my goodness, where would we be without him on offense? It's terrifying sometimes to think about where we would be if we couldn't run for 100 yards and give our running back 20-plus carries, because 20 carries for our running back is less that we have to give Jared May to throw the football. But it's time for us to at least get another college football update, something to, give us a little break in the action.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network back again with the very latest from the college football universe. Lots of news to talk about, so let's get right to it. Arizona State and Jake Denali have finally lost at the hands of USC 28-27. Running back sensation Calvin Cashman has been very exciting to watch for Oklahoma. He's only 5'6", but is a handful to bring down in the open field, if you can even get your hands on him. The 2 best defenders emerging are juniors Antonio Box from Tennessee and Marcus Mangum of Houston. Expect both players to be high on the wish list of GMs come April in the draft.
At the midway point in the season, we are 4-4 and taking on the New York Giants, who have been a thorn in our side in this division, as they have been so good. And we need this win badly. The difference between 4-5 and 5-4 is big. And the problem there is, you see Clinton Portis is out for the game, more x-rays pending. Second time he's been knocked out of a game this season. The Giants are driving. We're up 21-16, but the Giants have a completed pass, and inside the 10, broken tackle, Plaxico Burress down to the 4, and now a handoff. Brandon Jacobs, he's in for the touchdown. And the Giants are up by 1. 2-point conversion on its way. And Manning, back of the end zone. It's going to be caught but out of bounds. So we have a 1-point deficit. And May has that ball swatted at the line. 3rd down and 9. Like I said, we need this one badly. And May goes down. It's a sack. And now the Giants take over at the 46-yard line. Manning throwing, caught, and Manningham has it to the 30-yard line. Gain of 16. Eli to throw it again. And he's going to be finding Plaxico Burress down to the 11-yard line. Giants threatening to go up by even more. That's a catch down at the goal line, they say at the 1. But it's going to be Brandon Jacobs getting stopped. And I was about to say Brandon Jacobs from the 1-yard line sounds like easy money. And eventually he gets in for the score. They do not go for 2, so it stays a 1-score game. But it's going to take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in this massive game, as that ball's going to be swatted in. This is just going so bad. Jared May can't just complete anything right now, as the punt is going to be fielded by the Giants, who are going to get lit up. They're going to have good field position again, and the defense needs to come up with a stop in the worst way. Eli, check down underneath, is going to be caught, and that ball is going to be 4 yards. Now toss it out. Jacobs to the edge. He's got a man in the open field, and that's a good tackle to wrap him up. 3rd down and 4. Eli, blitz sending off the edge. That's going to be caught by Mario Manningham. And a 1st down again. Eli's got all the time in the world, extra blockers in, but that's going to be a sack. I mean, the line did not do a good job there to pick up on the rusher getting in. And now Jacobs is going to get stopped for a gain of 3 on 3rd down, but a 51-yard field goal. Big kick here. It is off the post, and Washington still has life in this one. Now at the 41-yard line, May is going to have it broken up. 3rd down and 10. May has just been ice cold in this quarter, and another incomplete pass. We need to go for it. We can't give the ball back. May, middle, caught, finally, something. And DeFazio comes for 19. 1st and 10 at the 2-minute warning. May, he's got time. He's got a lot of time. He's going to throw one up top to the end zone, incomplete. And now 2nd and 10. Jared May, more time in the pocket. Open man, caught Antoine Randall inside the 20, down to the 17. And May is going to find his man. DeFazio comes, hangs on, touchdown, 2-point conversion on its way. Blitz in, and he beats it. And the feet are in bounds. It's a tie game. Washington was ice cold on offense, but 1 4th down spark was all we needed. Now the defense needs to come out here and try to force overtime at the very least, but a fumble, and the Giants keep it. Come on, defense, you got to pick that one up. And Eli's going to have more opportunity in this one with under a minute to play. 8-yard gain there, 3rd down and 2. Quick slant. It's going to be behind his man. incomplete. Eli just missed it, and now the punt is going to be in Washington's hands as that ball is going to be at the 25-yard line. 46 seconds to go. We got all of our timeouts, and quick pass underneath. Caught, turning it upfield. He's going to get the first. They said in bounds, though. We had to burn a timeout there, so down to 2 with 39 seconds to play. Wide open man, Antwaan Randall El. He's got 3 men on him. One dives and missed, and he's outrunning the other 2. Antwaan Randall El, touchdown. 64 yards, and Antwaan Randall El has given us the lead, and we needed that in the worst way. Eli has 20 seconds to go, no timeouts, and 41-yard line. He's going to throw an incomplete pass. He needs to go 59 yards to try to force overtime here, and he's going to go over the middle. That's caught Plaxico Burress, but I don't think they're going to have enough time. They're out of timeouts. Hurry back to the line. Clock is ticking, and Eli is going to not be fast enough. The game is over, and Washington, huge victory, needed it so badly. Like I said when we went into this one, the difference between 4-5 and 5-4 is monumental, and now above 500, Jared May plays maybe the best total game he played, even though he was ice cold in that fourth quarter. He made the big plays when he needed to in a 5-touchdown, 0-pick game, 380 yards. That's something I don't know if we'll ever see from Jared May again. Story also, Clinton Portis knocked out of another game. DeFazio Combs had 3 touchdowns. Antwaan Randall 165 and a touchdown. Santana Moss with a touchdown. So passing game was on fire. Ron Landry and Abby Amiri get a sack. Thomas Howard gets a pick. But it's not going to be without its losses in this one, as Clinton Portis has strained his hamstring. He's going to be out for 3 games. So we've already had our bye week, so we're not going to be able to have him recoup on a bye week. It is strictly just 3 games, and Clinton Portis at this point in the season was 4th in the league in rushing, 2nd in the league in carries, 2nd in the league in touchdowns. You can imagine that is a massive loss for us. He is top 5 in every statistical category. That being off of our team now for 3 games, I don't know if we're going to be able to survive that. The division is really close. We're 5-4, but we're last. But we're also 1 game out of first place. So it's a tight division. It's a tight race. And in our next game against the Arizona Cardinals, who are one of the lower end teams in the league, thankfully right now it's 30-9. We are up big right now, and we're gonna hope we don't do what we did against the Packers and blow this one, as with 5.5 to go, Alex Smith, one of our former quarterbacks, is trying to pull himself back in it. They do it early. Doucette getting a touchdown. 30-16 is your score. We're gonna take the field in this one, up by 14. Whitfield on the carry, filling in for Portis into the first play we watch, and put the ball on the ground, and it's a scoop and score. Why can we never just do anything right? Whitfield, scoop and score. Santana Moss on the kick return. Please give us it back. Moss past the 30. He's going to go make a move past the 40. Santana Moss, can he outrun him? Not quite. He gets past midfield, though. Big to get past midfield there. And he is going to celebrate a little bit. But, yeah, that one's coming back. That's going to be clipping. So, instead of being past midfield, we're going to be inside our own 20. Whitfield, you got to make up for that bad play. Counter left is going to see him juke it back right, get himself 4 yards, and with just 3.5 to go, it's going to be Whitfield on the stretch right. He's going to go outside. He's got some speed to him. He's going to make a man miss, cut it back, make another one miss, and there goes Whitfield. I don't know how he came out of that one, but he's going to outrun everybody for a 67-yard touchdown. And when he put the ball on the ground, allowed a scoop and score, he got us the points right back. So I guess all is forgiven. Alex Smith and this Cardinals team needing to do something here, and Smith gonna take off and run with the football. He's gonna make a man miss. Okay, putting somebody on the dirt. Alex Smith, whoever that was, I'm gonna need you to never get juked out by Alex Smith ever again. As not only that, oh great, a penalty too, face mask. So that's just perfect, as now down by 14, the Cardinals needing to put some points on the board. Larry Fitzgerald with the grab, making a man miss, and Fitzgerald, they got him down close to the marker. They say 2nd and inches, as dropping to throw. Another scramble on the play, and another juke move. I mean, keep tackling him in bounds, I suppose. Just keep the clock moving, as the camera gets a little messed up there. But that's going to be a grab inside the red zone to the 18-yard line with 2 minutes to go. Smith, He's going to fire one right over the middle, and that was, you got to break on that one a little quicker. I'd like to see the defense be a little faster to react there. Larry Fitzgerald with the grab for the first down, and now at the 6-yard line, 1:40 to play. And Smith back in the end zone, caught, and they say touchdown. He got his feet inbounds, and 1.5 minutes to go. Well, run game, try to put this thing away. Whitfield breaking a tackle. Actually, that's not even Whitfield, that's Baker, the other running back, and oh my goodness, he just refused to go down. And now it's Whitfield into the game. He's going to get stopped in the backfield, but 1 first down can end it as back to the ground goes Whitfield. Not going to get there, but it will be 3rd down and 16. Draw. Here he goes. And he's going to make a very unnecessary juke move, but it'll be 4th down and 1. We punt the football. 30 seconds. We can survive for 30 seconds, right? That ball could have been intercepted, but still, we could survive. 31 seconds on the clock. Smith has got the blitz sent in. Finds a man. It's going to be intercepted, though. Mike Vrabel jumped up in the air and snagged it, and that's going to be a victory for Washington. Okay. Yeah, we just needed to come out of there on top. I don't know what it is about this team when we get to the 4th quarter and we have a big lead that we just allow things to go completely sideways. Inexplicably, look at that performance on the ground. Whitfield goes for 187 and 2 touchdowns. Baker also goes for 75. So if you ask the question, can we survive without Clinton Portis? I guess. I don't know if I ever expected that, because every other game from Whitfield this season has been like 2 yards to carry and less. But Thomas Howard gets 3 sacks. Michael Poe, you know, coverage liability. Now you got 2 picks. We're happy with that as we go against the Dallas Cowboys once more. We had that heartbreaking game against them where Marion Barber got a 100-yard touchdown and we lose. Now we are up in the second matchup. 31-24 is your score. 3rd down and 14 for Romo as he throws a little check down, and despite it being a little check down, he's going to make a couple of moves, get it 13 yards at a 4th and 1 situation. It's enough to get him into field goal range. Could have went for it there, but they're going to go for the 4-point deficit and turn it back to our offense, where Jared May, pressure gets in, he gets sacked, unblocked defender, 6 minutes to go. And May on 3rd down and long, have a completed pass. Not going to get the first down as we'll send the football back to Dallas. We got him inside the 20 at the 15. Handoff. He'll not get much there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 8. Romo to throw with the nickel blitz coming in. That ball, tight window. Got it completed, though, and even though the coverage was good, it still didn't help us out. Blitz sent in again. That one's also going to be caught, and again, it was pretty good coverage, just couldn't make a play on the football. Romo, play action. They fall for it. Throws it back deep middle. Caught! And this is just brutal to watch. I mean, we are there, just can't make a play. Under 5 to go. 2nd and 8. Romo dropping back. Open man underneath. Going to be a grab. He's fighting. He gets the first. He's inside the 10 and down to the 7. As Romo to the air. He's going to fire. Back corner. Caught, but out of bounds. They'll try it again from the 7-yard line. 2nd and goal. Romo got it off his back foot. That ball's tipped and tipped around a couple of times and intercepted by Braylon Beaudrew. And we'll take it back at the 4-minute mark. And at the 20-yard line, that's going to be a run for a loss of 4. 3rd down and 14. May is going to have it over the middle. Caught Antoine Randall. That's huge to keep that clock moving. And now under 3. Handoff to Baker, who's going to get a solid gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Stretch right. And that's just going to be obliterated at the 2-minute warning. 3rd down and 8. Back up the middle. Baker, I guess he didn't want to run up the middle, so Cowboys will take it back, and they are going to have another shot added, and they're going to get a completed pass. As just feels like nothing is going away in coverage sometimes. Like, even when we get good coverage, that is not good coverage, by the way, and that's a missed tackle too. That's even worse. Touchdown. And not only was he wide open, but when we break to try to make the tackle, it's not going to go our way. Jared May breaks out of a sack and almost throws a pick. Now, down by 3 with 1:15 to go. Underneath, that's going to be caught, but nothing there. No point in that one, as 3rd down and 10. As May checks it down again. It's going to get yards this time, but it's still 4th down now. 5 yards out. Jared May trying to come up with something big here, and he's going to have it floated out to the running back. That's 3 straight plays of the running back. I mean, can we get it to one of our playmakers here, as he's going to float one for Fred Davis. Chris Cooley's been banged up all season, so we're seeing little bit more Fred Davis than we might want to, as that's going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 1. May, short drop, incomplete. He got the football off at least. 4th down and 1. Honestly, I just want to get the first down by any means necessary, even if it does cost us a little bit of time. We're going to run the football here, and that's going to be for the first down. I am content burning our last time out. We just need to get into field goal range. We're playing for overtime, as May got to get rid of it, and he finally does! Intercepted! Jared May, gotta be the most unclutched quarterback in human history. He just fails every single time. It's more what I expected also from the run game, about 2 yards a carry. And even though we threw for 400 yards, doesn't matter if you throw for 400 yards, 300 yards, 500 yards. Doesn't matter if when the big situations you get in these big moments, you need a game winner, you need a first down clincher, you need something. Every single time, it just does not happen for this team. And that's down to Jared May. We put the ball in his hands and he couldn't do it. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the weapons. It's not like he doesn't have the players. He just can't do it. And that's frustrating. Now in our next game against the Jaguars, it's 23-14 in our favor. So we're up by 2 scores. We have the football. May throws it back left side. That's going to be incomplete. Field goal try. We'll keep it a 2-score game. It's going to be through the uprights. Good. 26-14 is your score with 7.5 to go, as it'll be MJD getting upended in the backfield. I feel like there's so many games where the defense is doing a good job, and then, we hit the 4th quarter and it doesn't, go as well, but also there's so many self-inflicted wounds that go down, and it's like, man, Jared May didn't turn the football over so much, but maybe the defense would be set up in bad positions, because you see plays like that where we're bowling over somebody and getting a sack. 2nd down and 16, outside. That's going to be caught in a broken tackle. A little too many missed tackles for my liking as well. 3rd down and 5. They'll fake the draw, throw it, middle, caught, and that ball comes loose. It looked like it could have been an incomplete pass, but they say fumble, and Washington picks it up. That is big for the defense. I don't know, you really could have called that incomplete. And there goes Baker on the run. He's going to get 12, and at least we're surviving without Clinton Portis. That is the most important thing. This is the last game without Clinton Portis. We won the Cardinals game, lost the Cowboys one. If we can go 2-1 in Clinton Portis' absence, that'd be huge, as 4th down and 1 has hit after a 7-yard carry. I want to go for it. I want to put our team on the field and just try to seal it. And I know sometimes it doesn't always go your way and you give the team an opportunity to come back in it, but this team gives our opponents too many opportunities to come back no matter what we do, as we are going to sneak it up the middle. We will get the first down. So obviously, if it works, it's a great decision. If it doesn't, you're an idiot. It worked there, so it was a good decision, I suppose. We get stopped there. 2nd down and 6 turns to 3rd and 6. Run again, nowhere to go. But at least we ran out the clock down under 2 minutes to go and used up a timeout of theirs. So they are going to need a lot to go their way if they're going to win this one. Touchdown and an onside kick. And that ball is going to be broken up. 4th down and 10. They might not even get a first down on this drive as the play action comes in over the middle. That's short. And that's going to be our football. And we get to seal things up. Jared May doesn't play atrocious today. You don't go out there and complete 40% of your passes and throw a couple of interceptions. And hey, the defense only has to allow 14 points and we get to play some winning football. So the win on the board there. Clinton Portis will be back for the next game, though it is a hamstring injury. Always got to keep in mind that a hamstring injury lingers throughout the entire season, whether they are or are not playing. But at 7-5 on the season, we are in playoff position, and we get another round of draft stories to really enjoy. But 7-5, we are within sights of the playoffs.
Hello, everybody. Adam Schefter of NFL Network back with your final regular season college football report. The season is winding down, and it looks like we have our national title picture shaping up. The Michigan Wolverines are very much in the driver's seat after locking up the Big Ten title after defeating Ohio State 20-14 in Columbus. A huge win for the Big Blue of Michigan. TJ Nunn has been amazing this season. Meeting them in the title game should be the Alabama Crimson Tide, who still have to get past Tennessee in the SEC championship game. Led by the Hutch twins at linebacker, Alabama's #1 rated defense should give Michigan a lot of trouble.
Ooh, sorry, Ohio State fans. Still can't escape Michigan even 15 years ago. Michigan beats Ohio State, and there is a tag team of linebackers, Jeremiah and Jeremiah Hutch. One outside, one inside. So a national championship between two great linebackers and a great wide receiver down at Michigan. So at 7-5, we're kind of take a peek at the rest of the schedule. We play Vikings, Saints, Titans, Giants. So I think it's possible for us. I think we can go ahead and make the playoffs, and especially in this tight division race. I mean, it's crazy. We're last in the division at 7-5, but we're also tied for first. It is just a wild division here. And when you look at the divisional record, it's been pretty close. 2-2, 2-3, 2-3, 3-1. We handed the Eagles one of their losses, and now against the New Orleans Saints, things are looking pretty good for us. With 6 minutes to play, we're up 24-7. An interception from Charles Woodson, an offensive drive that sets us up inside the 10-yard line, down to the 4. Clinton Portis gets a touchdown. So it's looking like we're going to come out here with a victory, barring another collapse, another choke, something crazy happening. But I mean, Joey Harrington in the year like 2011 or whatever we're in right now doesn't exactly scare me that much. So we get the turnover on down. It's the first time I've also felt comfortable enough to do this and feel like it's a necessity to do this, but we're going to hop in, make one quick little decision. We're going to sub in our backups because Clinton Portis, need him rested up for this final stretch of the season, and some of these other players to make sure that they are healthy and good to go. That very much does matter. And, you know, with how many times we have choked, we have not been able to put in our backups. But I think with 4 minutes to go, 31-7, make it 34-7. And we are going to come out here with a dominant victory. Huge to get us to 8-5 on the year and keep us very much alive in the division race. You know, Chad Pennington gets to kneel the football out, close things out. And Jared May in this one, no turnovers. I mean, hey, there might be a little bit of correlation here behind Jared May not turning the football over like a dummy and, you know, allowing our defense to be put in tough positions. I actually do think our defense is not that bad. And, you know, with some of the adjustments that we have made and the improvements that we made in the offseason, it really feels like when our defense gets put in good scenarios, hey, it doesn't look too bad. So here's hoping that Jared May maybe stops throwing interceptions. I mean, 2 straight games, that's probably a record for him. So 8-5 on the year, everybody in the division won, of course. So despite us being, you could see 9th in the NFL in terms of win-loss record, we are last in the division still. But, I mean, we could still come out here and win the division. It's crazy. I mean, we're literally last in the division and out of the playoffs right now. But we're also tied for the 2 seed. We're tied for a first-round bye, and we're out of the playoffs right now. Because this ain't like real life right now where there's 7 playoff teams and everybody can make the playoffs in their division. In this game, and, you know, before the 17 playoffs, you finish last in your division. You could have an amazing record. You can go 10-6. You finish last in your division, you're not making the playoffs. So we are here in the 4th quarter kicking things off. It's 17-9, so the defense once again not allowing a whole lot points per game wise, and we have an opportunity to shut the door on things, get our 9th win of the season, and, you know, get our first winning season under our belt. We get stopped there, 4th down and 1. We're going to go for it. Go to the fullback, and look at that, the fullback making a man miss and creating something. That's big. Chris Cooley, I mean, he's had a bunch of injuries that have knocked him out, and he's going to be out again. You know, I haven't really showed them because these injuries aren't, like, long-term. These are kind of, like, little dings on him, but, I mean, he's just been brutalized with injuries this season. So Titans get the football back after they eventually do get the stop, and they got it with 6 minutes to go. Vince Young will hand it off, and that's going to be a fumble! And Vince Young scoops it up, and Vince Young gets the first down! A 3rd down fumble in the backfield, and Vince Young works a little bit of magic, and now he's running for a first down. Oh my goodness, we're playing Texas Vince Young now, aren't we? We're not playing Titans Vince Young. Even though Titans Vince Young had some good moments, but, man, I don't want to be playing the magical GOAT-level college football quarterback in Vince Young as the screen gets stopped there. 3-yard loss as with under 5 to go. Blitz sent in off the edge. That's going to be a completion right up the middle for the first down. And Vince converts another 3rd down. Throw on the run back the other way. Looked like he was maybe going to design take it off, but that's going to be a fight for the first down. Young is moving this team now. Design keeper, it looks like, breaks a tackle. Young, joke move. Vince Young, he just taunted in the face of our safety and got it down to the 1-yard line. He did not need to taunt like that on us. Mid-play, 1-yard line, and that's going to be a touchdown. Oh my goodness, what Vince Young are we facing? 2-point conversion is good. Tie game with 4 to play. And this team, I mean, the Titans aren't amazing, but I guess Vince Young is having an amazing day today because he is not going to let this Titans team lose as May off his back foot. That's dropped, and that's Fred Davis. I mean, man, if we had Chris Cooley, that might have been a catch. Go back to Fred Davis. This time it'll be a catch for the first down. This team really doesn't utilize their tight end a whole lot. I don't know if Jared May likes throwing to the tight end, but he did there 2 times in a row. 2nd down and 7, though, is May. Will throw outside. There you go. Catch and close to the marker. 3rd down and inches. And it's going to be Portis in motion, emptying out the backfield. It's just good, the fullback in there. He got a 1st down for us already at the 2-minute warning. It's going to go back to the fullback again. Good 1st down and a gain of 7 on the fullback dive. And now Portis on the ground. Not much there. 1-yard gain right on the fringe of field goal range with 1:20 to go. May floats one down the field. Knocked away. Almost picked. And 3rd down and 9 is hit. May just don't get sacked here. And he's going to float one. David's intercepted. Jared May, come on. We were right on the fringe of field goal range. We have Janikowski. So he's got the leg for 54 yards. And you throw a pick? I mean, you at least got to give us a chance to kick that field goal. And now with a minute to go, Vince Young is going to try to work some magic here. Caught in double coverage. And even when the coverage is good, it don't matter. Young outside, caught, and they're in field goal range with that 1st down inside the 30. And with 40 seconds to go, it's looking like they're going to get a field goal try because Vince Young probably ain't dumb enough to throw a pick in double coverage when he's got a field goal in his back pocket. And with 30 seconds to go, we're trying to burn our timeouts. 3rd down and 13. That's going to be a run to get him closer. He'll have very comfortable field goal range. We're out of timeouts. 27 seconds. Kick is just sneaking through. It hits the upright and in. And that's going to be good. 20 seconds to go, and May got to throw one up. He is going to fly it up high down the field, incomplete. 13 seconds to go. Just looking for a miracle here as May, he's just going to get sacked. I mean, taking a sack on a Hail Mary. Just so embarrassing. Just Jared May is so frustrating, man. Not going to have time to get back to the line. And we fall to 8-6 on the season. And 8-6, I mean, you'd still be sitting there saying, well, we're looking pretty good for the playoffs, but we came into this game at 8-5, last in the division, and we lost. So I don't know what that's going to look like for our outlook in the final 2 games to try to get into the playoffs. We're very much going to need to win our last 2 games. And once again, Jared May goes out, throws 2 interceptions, and we lose. I mean, we didn't even allow that many points. I mean, Vince Young kind of went crazy at the end there, but it's just these back-breaking turnovers. So Cowboys lost, Giants and Eagles won. We are sitting down here at 8-6. And the game up next is big. We take on the New York Giants. We had a big win at the midway point in the season to get over 500 and put us in a good spot. But now this is basically your playoffs here. From every game from here on out seems to be playoffs for us. If we beat the Giants, we can jump them in divisional record and a tiebreaker because we will have, swept them on the season. And if not, we're basically out of the playoffs. So with 7 minutes to go, it's 24-24. Throw into coverage. Plaxico Burress is going to have it, and he's going to get a nice gain to the 43-yard line. Eli has got pressure in. That ball's going to be caught, but that didn't help him out very much. Loss of 2. 3rd down and 12. Blitz sent in, and that's going to be incomplete from the 45-yard line. They're going to have to punt the football away. Split backfield as Portis play action. May off his back foot caught. Antoine Randall. He's going to cut left. Antoine Randall is being chased, but I don't think he's going to be caught. Antoine Randall, 80 yards, touchdown. And that is a 7-point lead for Washington. And finally, a big-time play. I don't even know if I put that one on Jared May that much. That was mostly catch and run, but a clutch play nonetheless from this team that we needed badly because, like I said, win and we have a shot at the playoffs, lose and we are done. 3rd down and 14. Eli converts, and a clutch play from Eli as he gets it past the 40-yard line. 18-yard gain. On offense, Antoine Randall made the play. Who's going to make the big play on defense to help us punch our ticket to the playoffs as that ball swung out to Jacobs? Broken tackle. It's going to set him up in 3rd and manageable. 3rd down and 4. They hand it off. Jacobs, easy lane for the 1st down. And now at the 40-yard line, Jacobs just so hard to bring down on first contact, and he always falls forward for an extra 4 or 5 yards, it seems like, as swing outside. There you go. First contact broken. 3-yard gain. Could have maybe even gone a little bit more. 3rd down and 7 as Eli right on the fringe of field goal range. Going to strike it over the middle, and that's caught. Plaxico Burress to the 11. Eli now throwing the other way. It's intercepted, and that's going to be taken back the other way. It almost got it free for a touchdown, and I asked who was going to make the big play. It was LaRon Landry, and now the offense can try to run out some of this clock. To the edge goes Portis. He cuts it back. I think if he stayed outside, if he stayed wide, could have got a little bit more there, but 3rd down and 10. Put the ball in May's hands and see what you got. He's going to float one deep, incomplete. I don't know if you're trying to test Zimmerman out there. That's not the guy I'd be going to in that clutch situation. Now the Giants have the football back. Jacobs broke 1, not 2. Just a yard on the play. 2-minute warning has hit as Eli, play action, throwing it down the field. Intercepted again! And the defense coming up big! And this time, it's going to be returned inside the 30-yard line. And the defense hums up huge, and now we can kick a field goal here as long as we hang on to the football to go up by 2 scores. Even if the Giants stop us, it's 3rd down and 5. They're down to 1 timeout. Draw play, just keeping it safe. Portis goes down, but we could kick our field goal. Just knock home this field goal, and we could be heading to the playoffs, and we'll have a win and in situation in week 17. Kick is off the upright and in. Not a whole lot of hope left for this Giants team, who are fighting for their playoff lives, as they are in a competition between basically everyone in the division. But even if the Eagles run away with this division and win out, it's between us, the Giants, and the Cowboys for 2 spots. One of us is going to get left out, and right now it could be the Giants if they can't pull off a miracle here. That ball's intercepted again, and 3 interceptions by this defense has wrapped things up, and I cannot say enough about how clutch this defense was in the big moments. It was Thomas Howard, our big signing in the offseason, one of our big acquisitions. Jared May, even though he completed just barely 50% of his passes and threw 2 picks. I mean, when the defense gets you 3 back all in 1 quarter, it's not so bad if you throw 2 yourselves. Antwaan Randall El with 200 yards and that big 80-yarder. It was all of him today in the receiving game, but Moss and Combs also had touchdowns. And what a day for Antwaan Randall El. LaRon Landry, 2 interceptions, both of them in that 4th quarter. It's what you need to see from your big players or star players. LaRon Landry, one of the highest rated players on this team, and now we find ourselves number 2 in the division. We're tied still for last. The Cowboys won. Eagles, they are 1 game away from us, but basically the situation is this: win and in. We can't win the division. Even if the Eagles lose and we win, we don't have the divisional record. We split with them. We can't win the division. That's okay. I'm not mad at that. But we win this game against the Minnesota Vikings here in week 17. We are in the playoffs. If we lose, we need a little bit of help. We need a likely Giants loss, because I don't know what the tiebreaker situation for the Cowboys is looking like. I don't know how good that's going to be. But a Giants loss, we're in, or we win, and we're in, and Jared May intercepted! Come on, just stop being an idiot, man! He's just gonna throw a pick like that, up 17-10 with 7 minutes to go, and Tavares Jackson has got to complete a pass on the bootleg for a 1st down, as now they stretch it right. That's gonna be a fumble, and Tavares picks it up, and that's gonna be another missed opportunity. I mean, we had one against the Titans too, and that ultimately could have costed us the game against the Titans, not scooping up that fumble. And now Jackson over the middle, gonna get swatted away. We'll take the football back after a 3rd and long stop. So good job by the defense. There's one thing that does work in our favor, is that Adrian Peterson is not playing for the Vikings. He's been out all season with an ACL injury, so we're happy about that, to not have to deal with Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs in the league, as we take the football back, as the Vikings not able to run the football without Adrian Peterson. But they've still managed this season. The Vikings are very likely headed to the playoffs and could be winning their division, so maybe this will be a potential playoff matchup with 4 minutes to play if we can win this game. As May off his back foot, come on, stop being stupid here. We just need to hold on to this lead and get a couple of 1st downs, but now the Vikings have another try at it, as a stiff arm there, gonna get them 10, not quite a 1st down though, 2nd and inches, as Jackson play action underneath. That's got the tight end open for a 1st down. Nice gain of 7 there as they're past midfield. Counter right and stopped in the backfield. All right, third down and 11. 3 minutes to play. Jackson, he's going to get sacked. He was fighting, but he couldn't get away. And the Vikings punt it. So they're going to give us another try to run out this clock as Clinton Portis, what a run there for 12. And it's a penalty, but it's on Minnesota. I held my breath a little bit because I heard the penalty, but Chad Greenway with the face mask. That is big. So we can run out this clock to the 2-minute warning with this one here, as it will be a short gain of 3. 2-minute warning has hit. Draw play. Portis, middle. He gets free. Clinton Portis. He's got the first down. One more, and we could be heading to the playoffs. Portis breaks a tackle in the backfield, and Clinton Portis gonna run our way to the playoffs. Fullback dive. We got it, and Washington's going to the playoffs at 10-6 on the season. Jared May, he didn't blow it for us. He threw a pick in the fourth quarter in a one-score game, but he didn't completely blow it as we are going to the playoffs. My goodness, 10-6 on the season, and we had to fight through a lot in especially a super difficult division. Our playoff matchup will be at Minnesota. So guys, don't book any plane tickets. We're staying right where we are. We played at Minnesota in week 17. We're staying there. We're gonna get a whole extra week. I don't know how good that is for Minnesota. Not much of a home field advantage, it feels like, because we don't have to travel. We just get to stay where we are. Giants at 9-7 miss out on the playoffs. So yeah, literally that Giants game was the deciding factor. That was the game. If we would have lost that one, we would have been 9-7 on the outside looking in. Vikings won their division. Seahawks won the division. Eagles won the division. Buccaneers, far and away the best team in the NFC. And we are back here against Minnesota, who didn't do much against us on offense last game. And now going into the fourth quarter of this one, it's looking pretty similar, except it's 14-0 as May throws an incomplete pass. But we could be out here getting a playoff victory. This defense has really come on strong the second part of the season, as they will get the football back. But with a shutout on the board for this Washington defense, can they wrap things up to get us a playoff victory here? As with under 7 to go, counter left, and they're going to have a lot of room outside. Get the first down carry, it looks like. They're going to say 2nd and inches. All right, so Jackson to the air, and he's going to get sacked right into a defender. 3rd down and 5, send in the blitz. Jackson gets away, and Tavares Jackson past midfield has the first down, and he beat the blitz there. Impressive job from him to get away as he'll run again. He's scrambling. He's not going to get far, though. And now 3rd down and 4. Jackson on the nickel blitz. He's just going to keep on scrambling as he breaks a tackle. And Tavares Jackson doing so much to run this Vikings team back into this game, as they will go play action. This time he'll use his arm, and that's over the head of everybody. With 5 minutes to go, he'll throw. Free rusher off the edge, and he'll get a completed pass, but it's not going to go far, as 3rd down and 8 is the situation. That's swatted at the line. 4th down and 8, you got to go for it. Down by 2 touchdowns. Jackson finding a man. It's incomplete, though, and Washington takes over. This defense stepping up huge, and that's a fumble, though, and it's put on the ground. Come on, why can't we ever put a game away? May chasing, but it's a scoop and score. Touchdown, Minnesota. Oh my goodness, why does it always have to be just so difficult for us to put a game away? Moss on the kick return. He'll get past the 40-yard line. That's a great kick return, but it is a one-score game, and Clinton Portis putting the ball on the ground is brutal. We'll find an open man underneath there. That's going to be caught, and it will be a first down. I still trust Portis, though. Let's give him the football, and let's try to ride him into a playoff victory, as he'll get stopped for a 5-yard gain. As May to the air, clean pocket, throwing it. Oh my goodness, right, a defender went over his head, though. Oh boy, May, stop giving me heart attacks. To the air again. He'll find a man. All right, that's a good one. DeFazio Combs for the first down, and with 2:40 to go, Portis is going to make a man miss, and Portis gets to the edge. Clinton Portis past the 20, upended, but he gets the first down, and an impressive run there, and we could be close to pulling this one off. And the defense, I mean, 7 points are on the board, but it ain't them. They've pitched a shutout. Portis cuts to the edge. Didn't know if that was a good idea, but he did it anyway. We'll try to run out the clock with one more run. Portis, he's close. It's up on the the ground again. Come on, fumble. And the Vikings have another try at it. They should not be in this game right now. The defense has allowed nothing. That wasn't Portis, though. I will apologize. That wasn't Portis. That was Adrian Baker coming in. Portis got tired. But still, it doesn't matter who it was. Don't fumble the football in that situation. As Jackson making a man miss, and Tavares Jackson on the run. What a scramble from Jackson, 25 yards. This is not happening right now. We're not going to do this. Jackson, he's going to run again. That's all they've been doing is just Tavares Jackson playing hero ball. As if we lose to Tavares Jackson hero ball, I'm going to cry. 42-yard line, throw to the outside. That's caught, and it's going to be past midfield. They are at the 43, 30 seconds to go. They got one timeout. Nickel blitz coming in. It gets picked up as they'll throw outside. Diving deflection. Mike Vrabel gets it. And I don't think Tavares Jackson's in the game. I think that's Brad Johnson or something. And it's a fumble. Okay, finally it goes our way. And the fumble. We get it back. Wow, that was just way more stressful than it needed to be. But the defense, my goodness, they pitched a shutout. Like, 7 points on the board, and it was a scoop and score. I don't know why we even let them have a chance in this one. But we come out with a playoff victory, and it's not going to be easy for us because we get to play Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the best team in the NFC. They ran away with the conference. Let's see if we can come out here and go to a conference championship, which, I mean, if we take Jared May to a conference championship, just hand me the coach of the year, I feel like, as we are down by 10, and that ball flying over the head of everybody. 3rd down and 8. We might be down by 10, but we can still come back in this one, especially now that we got a field goal, try to cut it to a one-score game. Kick! Come on! No good from 42 to cut it to a one-score game. And now the defense, well, we called upon them to make another big play, and I mean, they've held one of the top teams in the entire league to just 17 points. The offense just hasn't been able to do much in response to it, and a missed field goal there is gonna hurt a lot. So we get the stop there. Defense gives our offense another try at it. May will have a clean pocket, a lot of time. Throw, caught, not much there, but it'll be 5. We'll take it. 2nd down as May will go over the middle. Open. That's just a drop, a flat drop. That's not even on May, but still, come on. 3rd down and 5. Deep ball. That should have been picked. It's incomplete. 6 minutes to go. We're going for it. We need points, and we need them quickly as that ball incomplete. Maybe we could have punted. Maybe, but like, I mean, how many chances is our offense really going to get against this Buccaneers team? As they'll throw, it's going to be caught. He's fighting. It's inside the 10. I don't know how much life we have left in us. That should have been picked in the end zone, though. 2nd down and goal. Quick pass. Caught. Touchdown. And Tampa Bay up by 17. And with 5 minutes to go, May has a completed pass to Fazio. Combs has it to the 45-yard line. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one off as May. That should have been picked. It's incomplete. He's gotten away with 2. I don't know if you're going to get away with it a 3rd time if that happens, but a 1st down catch there, it looks like. No, they say 3rd and inches, but we'll take that. On the ground, Clinton Portis. He'll get the 1st down and more. Past the 40-yard line. That missed field goal is really coming back to bite us right now as that ball is going to be caught. Portis, he's going to have 9. 4 minutes to play. Play action. And May is going to throw an interception. Jared May, another crushing mistake. And I think any hope we might have had to come back in this one might have just left us as that ball is going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 10. I guess if we get the 3 and out here, we have a faint chance as we will not get it. Broken tackles, another defense letting us down, but I can't even fault them too hard. Defense has fought their hearts out these last couple of weeks. I mean, they've played so well, and I can't fault them for struggling against the best team in the NFC. It's our offense that should be doing better, as we will allow them to get another 1st down on the ground. 2-minute warning has hit. Now it's looking like we're going to be bowing out in the playoffs of this one, as Under 2 to go. Spin move there. Breaking a tackle. Moves are being made, and he is just so slippery. Second down turns to third down. He gets the first down. And with under a minute and a half to go, we're not even burning our timeouts because they're just continuing to run right through our defense inside the 15-yard line. And with 5 seconds to go, they could just kneel it, but they run it in for another touchdown just to run up the score because I guess they're a bunch of jerks. As Jared May, in his playoff game, does not throw a touchdown, throws a pick. I mean, that was just a rough one. We were just outmatched. I can't really say anything other than we just ran into a better team with better everything, and we did not come out on top there. But, I mean, if you look at just the result of the season, if you would have told us, hey, you win 10 games, you make the playoffs, you win a playoff game, I'd be pretty happy with that. But still, even though the result of the season was an overall success, does it really feel like a success? I don't know. Look at what Jared May did. I mean, the season was objectively better. Like, I did everything I could to make sure Jared May played better. Over 1.5 yards more per attempt, 6% higher, 800 more yards, more touchdowns, less picks, way less sacks. I gave him an offensive line. I gave him everything he needed to succeed. And yeah, he threw for a whole bunch of yards, but a lot of those were empty. Like, how many yards were empty yardage? Like, so much just fluff in there for yardage. I mean, he had some really high-performing games when it came to his overall statistics, but there were games where we were trying to dig ourselves out of holes that he created. I mean, he was creating holes for us. He had multiple games where, look at the completion percentage, 50 and below in 5 games, multiple interceptions in like so many games. It was just brutal. He was passing for a lot of yards, but it was only to dig us out of holes that he created for us. There you go, Clinton Portis. He ended up with 1,000 yards. He missed a couple of games, but the season was decisively worse. I mean, a whole 0.5 less per carry. Definitely some regression here from Clinton Portis. And even though he was on track to run for roughly the same amount of yards, it was definitely not as efficient as it was last season. And I mean, if you want to be, I guess, optimistic about Jared May, you could say everything for him improved and maybe the progression continues to get better. But if you want to be pessimistic, how about this to say, we gave you 3 highly productive receivers. I mean, look at it. Antoine Randall averaged 20 yards plus a catch. Antoine Randall had 1,300 yards. Santana Moss had over 1,000 yards. DeFazio Combs had over 1,400 yards. I gave this dude maybe the best offensive line in the league, 3 1,000-yard receivers, and an 1,000-yard rusher. And it wasn't the best. Like, did he play bad? No, but he definitely had bad moments. Can I sit there and say that he'll get that much better next season? Is this Josh Allen or is this Daniel Jones? Is Daniel Jones, kind of gave a little bit of fool's gold where he looked competent for one season because Brian Dable gave him everything he needed, and then he fell back down to earth and proved that, well, he wasn't really that good. Or, you get your Josh Allens where they start slow, but they add good progression, and eventually they explode and become a superstar player. I don't know if this is quite Daniel Jones or Josh Allen's side of things. I mean, you could also see Clinton Portis had more receiving production than Chris Cooley, and everybody basically had more receiving production. Chris Cooley was just, like I said, banged up this season, but I mean, this is basically a situation that Washington dealt with in real life. They just never were able to get a quarterback, and it's not due to a lack of trying. This team, though, just never was in position to take a quarterback because you are on a team. London Fletcher, Sean Taylor, LaRon Landry, Santana Moss, Clinton Portis, Chris Samuels, Randy Thomas, Chris Cooley. The team was never garbage. The team, most of the time, would win 7 games. You have that, and you have Joe Gibbs as your coach, and you had Mike Shanahan as the coach in the 2000s and 2010s. The team was never straight up garbage to be taking a top-tier quarterback. The times that they did, they selected Patrick Ramsey, 32nd overall in the early 2000s. And in the mid-2000s, 25th overall, they got Jason Campbell. 24th overall in that draft was Aaron Rodgers. They missed out on Aaron Rodgers. So that stunk. And then the only times that they had top picks, 2007, they had the 6th pick. They took LaRon Landry. Well, why didn't they take a quarterback that year? Well, that was the Jamarcus Russell draft class. Jamarcus Russell was off the board, and Brady Quinn was their other option. It's like, okay, 2010, they had the 4th overall pick. Well, why didn't they take a quarterback that year? Well, did you want to take Tim Tebow number 4 overall? Because Sam Bradford was already off the board, and it's not like they missed out on that pick because, well, who'd they select? They selected Trent Williams, who's a Hall of Fame, arguably greatest left tackle of all time, that type of player. The only time that Washington ever had a chance in the 2000s with a top draft pick and quarterbacks on the board, they didn't take Ben Roethlisberger when they had the chance to, because Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning went over them. They had the chance to select Ben Roethlisberger, and they didn't. Who'd they select? They selected Sean Taylor. Well, I don't think I can blame them for not taking Ben Roethlisberger. They took Sean Taylor, who, if he would have played out his whole career, could have been, in the conversation for greatest safety of all time alongside Ed Reed. So I can't really fault them for that pick. Washington just never had the chances to take quarterbacks because the quarterback classes that they were selecting high in were weak, and then generally other times they were making the playoffs but losing, or being just off the playoffs, being a 500 team, picking, teens, 20s, not really in position to take the top quarterback. So Washington fell into this issue in real life, and eventually they got fed up, and well, they made the big RG3 trade, and they moved up to number 2, traded a bunch of first round picks to get RG3, and if RG3 didn't have his knee explode, maybe that would have worked out for him. But this Washington team, I don't want to fall into the same trap that they did in real life, where it's like, man, we just never got a chance at a quarterback. We're just stuck forever in QB purgatory, because it's not like they tried. They spent 2 first-round picks on quarterbacks. They traded for Donovan McNabb. Not the biggest, best names, but what were the alternatives, it feels like. So Jared May, I'm sitting here saying, man, what the heck do I do? Because I need to get a better quarterback. I think that is the key here. I apologize for just yapping about the quarterback situation, but and talking over the stats, but I do feel like that is a crucial thing to bring up. And it's like, man, we need to figure out if we can, do some research on these quarterbacks in the draft and get a position to take one of these really good ones. I'm willing to make a big trade. It just needs to present itself and needs to have an opportunity to happen. But maybe some of you guys are Jared May believers. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on him. But, I feel, I don't know if I think I'm doing a good coaching job. Also, Thomas Howard led the league in sacks. Also, big season there. I do want to shout out Thomas Howard for having 14 sacks and 4 interceptions. Great signing there. The defense played so much better. But, I do feel like, I've done a good job as a coach, elevating this team in some aspects and making them, a pretty successful rushing offense, making sure that we have a good offensive line. And, I did make Jared May look competent at times this year, but it's like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, can we win a Super Bowl with him? I don't know. I don't think so at this point in time, but maybe he gets better. But I'm also sitting here like Sean McVay eventually got fed up with Jared Goff and said, let me go get a Matthew Stafford. Let me get a guy with some real arm talent who I can unleash and open up the offense with. They go and win a Super Bowl. Even still, though, you look at the cumulative stats, we had the second highest points per game. We averaged 28 points per game and the number 1 total offense in terms of yardage. Like, we were a good offense when it came to overall production. I mean, we were top 10 in passing and rushing, top 5 in points, number 1 in yards. We did do really good stuff. I mean, also second in rushing touchdowns. We were 3rd in first downs. Like, we were top in every single metric you can think of, but a lot of turnovers for one. Points per game, it did get better. We were, like, I think 2nd worst, and now we're a little bit better. But again, how many instances where we were allowing points that weren't really the defense's fault because we were throwing interceptions and stuff? I mean, a couple of pick sixes happened this season. We allowed a lot of yards. The defense, though, really did figure things out in the second half of the season. I mean, again, these yardage stats don't really take them seriously because those are not correct. We did not allow 9,000 passing yards. That obviously didn't happen. No one allowed, 9,000, 8,000 passing yards. So, I mean, whatever the metrics are, though, we didn't do all that great when it came to allowing yardage. But I do think the defense played a lot better. They had a lot more good moments. We were also one of the better 3rd down teams in the league. We were one of the best 4th down teams in the league. I mean, 13 out of 18 on 4th down. Every metric, I think I did a really good job coaching. Like, I think I did a phenomenal coaching job. I just don't know if we have the quarterback that we need. We'll try to figure that out. We did end up, I think, maybe going by expectations a little bit of winning a playoff game. Turnover differential, with how bad we were when it came to giveaways, we were still +9 in turnover differential. Like, that's the thing, too. We threw 20 interceptions as a team. We were still up there in terms of turnover differential, though, because giveaways, we were, not at the top, but towards it. 23, tied with a couple of other teams. We fumbled the ball 3 times, but, man, like, I do think we really could just be a quarterback away. And the thing is, some real roster turnovers happening this offseason. Thomas Howard also, again, shout out to him, second in Defensive Player of the Year, big season for him. We need to upgrade the defense more because they do need more help in the secondary. I mean, the secondary, aside from Laurent Landry, is objectively rough still, talent-wise. I was able to do what I could getting, Thomas Howard, getting Tommy Harris, getting a couple of other players in there. I did what I could, but we still need secondary help. But, I mean, in order to improve the defense, you got to take away from something else. And if you're taking away from something else, we got some old players on offense. I mean, Randy Thomas is old. Chris Cooley is older. Antoine Randall is old. Santana Moss is old. Clinton Portis is about to be a 30-year-old running back. He's old. We got old players. Mike Vrabel, will he retire? He's old. We got old players on this team. So this team is not like some finished product where we, plug in a quarterback and off to the Super Bowl we go, because this team has a lot of old players that we need to figure things out for. So ultimately, we'll get into the offseason. That was all the statistics and everything, and I wanted to kind of discuss the state of the team. They want us to stay. Obviously, we're staying on this team. We don't plan on going anywhere else. But when it comes to the staff moves, I don't think there's as many staff moves that we need to make. Now, we will get into upgrading the staff, and I think when it comes to the upgrades here, I want to get better in the passing attack, even down to the receivers a little bit. I mean, they had some drops, but I think Bob Sardisco, who was our defensive coordinator, definitely helped us out a lot. The thing is, I need to give him some defensive backs. He is primarily a defensive back developer, and, well, we didn't really have defensive backs to develop for him. He's not going to be able to develop Charles Woodson. So, I mean, we got to get him some guys out there to develop. Special teams coordinator, even though special teams wasn't as good this year, I mean, he's still done good work for us. We'll obviously want to try to keep him around. John Ramsdale at the quarterback coach spot. Obviously, they got the most out of Jared May, and maybe there's still more to squeeze out when it comes to overall talent production. Maybe there's still a little bit more you can get better at. Running back coach, things did take a step back. The performance isn't good. I probably will want to look for a new running back coach, but I don't think the coaching staff needs to be completely stripped apart like it was in previous seasons where I'm trying to get all my guys in here. Mike Johnson, we'll see if he sticks around. He's about to be a 99 overall wide receiver coach, and I mean, you go and put out 3 1,000-yard wide receivers. You get DeFazio Combs, a 1,500-yard season. You get, Antoine Randall, his best year of his career into his 30s. We'll see, if we need to make a move there to maybe get rid of Antoine Randall, because, I mean, why not sell high on him? I feel like we have enough talent on this team to, elevate some guys in the receiving room. Todd Bowles, defensive back coach, definitely want to keep him around, defensive line coach. But like I said, this team is old. We're not going to be able to keep all these guys, and we're getting a little bit more expensive too because, guys, and we're getting a little bit more expensive too because, guys, and we're getting a little bit more expensive to, give up some money. So we'll see what some of the moves. I think this is going to be a pretty busy offseason for us. And, for our general manager, we definitely want to keep him. What I will say is I'm not going to buy these skills. I'm not going to eventually buy these skills. These skills are too overpowered, and it kind of takes away some of the fun from draft scouting and everything. So I'll do like the small school insider, major school insider and stuff like that. I'll do those, but I don't want to just unlock everything for all the top people. Like that's just kind of boring. Like I enjoy the scouting process in this game, and that's basically if you just don't care to do the scouting process and you just want to have all the information at your fingertips and do all that stuff. But and I do feel like it's a little overpowered. Some of these abilities that coaches have are really overpowered on every level, so I'm just going to avoid some of those overpowered ones. But let's get into the staff evaluation. Butch here at offensive coordinator, I mean, top 10 and everything. I'm the guy doing the offense. He's just kind of the assistant there. Obviously going to keep him. Sardisco, defensive coordinator, definitely are going to keep him. The defense did get better, even if the overall statistics aren't anything crazy. John Ramsdale, I felt like did a pretty good job, but he quits. And honestly, if he's going to try to pursue maybe being an offensive coordinator somewhere, kind of valid for that. I think he even understands Jared may not be the type of guy he wants to work with anymore. What does it say when your quarterback coach just quits on you? I don't know if that's a good endorsement for Jared May, but we did fire our running backs coach. We do generally want to keep a lot of these other guys. Thankfully, Mike Johnson stuck around. I thought he could maybe quit and go try to be an offensive coordinator, especially after a trio of 1,000-yard receivers. But defensive line coach, we're going to keep that around. Todd Bowles, obviously, I want to keep Todd Bowles around. Definitely going to have him in the staff, but we don't have to go out and sign many people when it comes to our coaching staff, just running back and quarterback coach. So Ramsdale quitting is super interesting there. I mean, I think that does say something a little bit, like if your quarterback coach just goes and quits. So Dan Mifflin is the guy who is going to be filling in at quarterback coach, and then as the running back coach, Bishop Harris, level 5s in a lot of development areas, so definitely going to be interested in him. And he wants to be here 16%. It's like right there. He picks us over the Vikings, so pretty easy. We got 2 of the top guys on the market, and that's going to be a pretty quick staff recap for us. So not as much to go through because we're, more so developing our staff rather than building from the ground up. So Bishop Harris, definitely a better running back developer and a little bit better in terms of performance. So it's going to be big there to have. And then Dan Mifflin, who is not so much performance, he's all development when it comes to the quarterback position. So maybe we needed more performance, but I mean, well, he can develop. So Jared May, you're going to have an opportunity to get a little bit better. So he's also got some special skills to him. So I'm at least satisfied with that. Not the worst thing in the world. We'll get to my upgrades. I got 28,000, and I really just want to focus in on that passing attack. I would love to get that passing game discipline. It's 30,000, plus we need to get that stuff the rest of the way for the receivers. So, I mean, I'm an offensive-minded head coach, and I want the offensive stuff. So I already did the quarterback trio of things. Let's do the receiver discipline, release, and catching the dang football, because that is frustrating with some of the drops that we've had. I know a lot of them were like in the rain. We had some rain drops, but stop dropping the dang ball, guys. So Super Bowl, we'll get you guys that. Colts beat the Patriots. Titans go down to the Ravens. Cowboys, how about a 52-49 shootout? Cowboys versus Seahawks in the playoffs. It goes to overtime, where Matt Hasselbeck threw 6 touchdowns and lost. That's got to be depressing for him. Divisional round, the Raiders bow out again. Luke Rambis, interesting narrative forming. Godly regular season quarterback, stinker playoff quarterback, because he got almost shut out, I think, last year, and then this year goes with 3 points into the fourth quarter. Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl, but lose to the Colts. Like I said, the Colts, and we almost beat the Colts. We were a yard away from beating them. They go on to win the Super Bowl. We have a lot to take care of in this offseason. Clinton Portis' contract is up, and looking at some of the options for us. Antoine Randall out. We could feasibly get rid of him. Still would take $4 million in penalties, but at 31 years old, 88 overall, we're not going to cut him. We'll hold on to him for now and kind of see how things go. Chris Cooley was banged up all year. Can't quite get rid of him yet, even if we wanted to. Obviously not going to be looking to move on from any of our offensive linemen anytime soon, except for maybe Randy Thomas, who's in the final year of his contract. He's 35 years old, and we're at the point where we can get rid of him realistically. I mean, he was, 35 years old. I think I am going to at least be looking for a future plan there. But if we need the cap space, we'll go and get rid of him. If not, we can keep him. Mike Vrabel's contract expires. London Fletcher, love London Fletcher so much, but 35 years old, final year of his contract. We can get some money. We could turn the reins over to Michael Poe. We'd free up $4 million. London Fletcher, probably one of those older players who could be on the move. Definitely. Fred Smoot as well. We kept him around as a number 4 corner, but we will cut him, free up $4 million. And, Charles Woodson contract expires. We'll obviously want to hold on to Laurent Landry for now, but he is in the final year of his contract, and an $11 million cap hit for us in total. We have our first, second, third round pick. Our second round pick is from the Packers. We don't have our own, and we have a cumulative $32 million to spend in this free agency. So the first thing we'll get to, franchise tag and a decision to be made. Clinton Portis, a franchise tag on him would be $9.8 million. I think that, coming off a season where he had a hamstring injury, banged up, was worse, I think we're going to let Portis test free agency. Now, I will go and I think tag Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's played so well, and he's still really good at this age. I just don't want to get him on a long-term deal. But we're letting Clinton Portis hit free agency. Once again, I tagged Vrabel last season with the intention to trade him, and a trade just never materialized, and he just played well for us. So, well, he's here. If we have an opportunity to trade him, we will. If not, hey, Mike Vrabel played well again this season. We will keep him. So it's just a situation where it's a safer move, and we'll see how that kind of situates itself if we could find a trade for Mike Vrabel. If not, I've been just basically holding on to him, waiting to trade him. But I mean, while he's here, we'll enjoy his great play. Quarterback scouting and everything here for the All-Star game. What I'll do with this is All-Star game I'll show you because you get a lot of key statistics for the All-Star stuff, whereas the Combine, you just kind of learn about their personality and stuff. It's not as important, but running back has become a need for us. I'm trying to build a team that has a good foundation and can be a contender for a long time. A lot of people will get, a little bit of success, will win a playoff game, and then they'll just go all in and try to retain everybody and just, that window cracks open and they try to do everything they can to win the next season. I mean, look at a team like the Texans last year who, they got some playoff success. CJ Stroud's the guy. Let's go get Joe Mixon. Let's go get Stephon Diggs. Let's get all these older guys. Let's win now. And it didn't work. Now, I don't think, maybe if I had CJ Stroud and not Jared May, I would be thinking a little bit similarly, but I want to at least build a team that has a little bit more of a foundation of success that can be good for more than just a year or two. And we're not going to be able to be good in 3 years if we just hold on to Clinton Portis and all these older players and hold on to all these guys. Like Mike Vrabel ain't going to be here in 3 years. London Fletcher ain't going to be here in 3 years. Maybe Clinton Portis is here in 3 years, but he's not going to be as good in 3 years. Some of these other players, Randy Thomas is probably not going to be around in 3 years. We need to figure out what we want to do with some of these older players and try to mesh them and ease in some younger players into this team as well. So we were able to do that on the offensive line last year. Got Chris Samuels out of there, Travion Davis in, Sam Cumberland in, Howard Sanders in. Offensive line is good for years to come, even if Randy Thomas is on his way out. We need to figure out where we want to go elsewhere on this team because we got some Band-Aids at the cornerback spot, but obviously Charles Woodson ain't going to be there for the long term, and I don't want to start the next season with Brandon Merriweather as my starting safety, so we'll see how that goes. But you can see all of the scouting info and the All-Star Game stuff for us here. We'll get the All-Star Game update from Schefter, get all that stuff going. But yeah, secondary, the needs this season: running back, secondary, and we'll see what quarterback looks like. Quarterback is a need, but it's a definitely like a situation where if the opportunity presents itself, we will try to get it, but I don't know what that's going to look like.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Schefter of NFL Network here, and it's time for the Senior All-Star Game Report. The practices went very well for a few players this week as Anquan Taylor of Buffalo put on a dazzling display for all of the NFL teams in town. Taylor has really started to set himself apart from the other quarterbacks in this draft with his rocket arm and speed combo. He looked great in every practice and dominated the All-Star Game, throwing 4 touchdown passes in a little over a half of play. Other players who looked good this week were Notre Dame wideout Mike Fitzgerald and tight end Aaron D'Antonio from West Virginia. In fact, Fitzgerald ended up being on the receiving end of 3 of the 4 Anquan passing scores. That's all for now. Next stop, NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Thanks for watching NFL Network.
Well, there you go. When it came to who I was looking at quarterback, it was Anquan Taylor because I was like, man, Dante Culpepper, and you could see 96 throw power, 81 speed, 79 accuracy. So the accuracy, it's workable, but needs to get better. Sugar Campbell looks pretty solid. Jarrett Ball does not look too good. And, we'll also have Jake Denali as well in this draft class. But, man, I mean, Anquan Taylor, if that's going to be a quarterback that we can trade up for, then I'll be eyeing that one a lot. Calvin Cashmont here at running back had the fastest 40 time. He was the 5'6" running back that they talked about, but he actually came in at 5'7". And you can see here for the free agency class what it's going to be looking at and the people on the market. Interesting group of guys. Now, quarterback, it's not going to be where we find our guy. It's not going to be in free agency. Clinton Portis is the top running back, so if we want to keep a running back, who's a veteran and not draft somebody, it would have to be Clinton Portis because we're not getting that anywhere else. So it's either Portis or the draft. Wide receiver, we're not looking for a wide receiver. Mario Manningham is a restricted free agent, a couple other guys. Tight end. Hey, every tight end in the NFL. How about Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Dallas Clark, all in free agency? Yeah, that's great. It's a lot. Offensive line, you got a couple of nice offensive linemen. Obviously, we're not looking for the offensive line. Maybe guard for the future, but we can draft somebody if we keep Randy Thomas. Defensive end, Kyle Vanden Bosch, Richard Seymour. Big names there to keep an eye on. Guys who fit the scheme very nicely. Defensive tackle, we do want a number 2 behind Tommy Harris, but we don't need to, overpay for that. Outside linebacker, not much. DeMeco Ryans at middle linebacker, I am very interested in. Then, like I said, Sean Merriman, how about lights out there? Antonio Cromartie as well as a free agent. I think that's going to be the top person I want to go for. Antonio Cromartie would be perfect. You know, he's still pretty young, 26 years old, man coverage, got some speed to him, and we need a number one corner bad. We have some money to play with, like I said, $32 million to play with. So I think if we're going to be going for anybody, expect us to really make a heavy push at Antonio Cromartie, but we'll see what else this team has to offer for us, because safety's not looking too good. That's disappointing, but I think there's some moves to be made here that we could be excited about.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your Combine update. Every scout and every GM turned out at the Combine this week to get a sneak peek at most of the players they'll be signing to multi-million-dollar contracts within the next few months. The breakout star of the Combine has to be Trumaine Dutch of Northern Illinois. Coming into the Combine, he was thought of as nothing more than a second-day pick. Now, after stunning scouts with a 4.36 40 time and 40 bench press reps, he's moved himself into the early part of the first round. Justin Cobb from Tiny Tennessee Tech also put on a show with the 40-yard dash, running a 4.22. He's now someone who teams are thinking about drafting in round one as well as after this Combine performance. Bubba Merton is another workout warrior who turned heads when he benched 50 reps of 225. That's incredible. What a strong guy he is. Merton also did very well when he was talking to teams. They very much liked his attitude and his hard work ethic. That's it from the Combine. I'll see you soon.
A lot of interesting stuff there. So I did want to take a peek as trades kind of popped up, and man, how about this? A lot of teams offering us like 5th, 6th round picks for Jared May. Jared May, keep in mind, he wasn't a first round pick. He's not on a long-term contract. It's the final year of his deal. The Lions have offered us the first round pick for Jared May. It's a next year first, but the Lions offered us a first round pick for Jared May. I mean, I can't in good faith take that because we have nothing else if we don't make a move for a quarterback. And I don't know if it's smart to basically gut your team of a quarterback and have no guarantee and no contingency plan because we are not in a spot to take one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. But man, seeing the Lions desperate enough to offer us a first round pick for Jared May, it's so tempting, but at least for now, I have to say no.
I'm Todd McShay, and this is the NFL Draft Preview. I put together my first mock draft today, and it's still wide open. I have Anquan Taylor and Jake Denali as my top two guys. They are both exceptional quarterback prospects. The other names to watch are TJ Nunn from Michigan. He will most likely be the first wide receiver taken, and then A-Box, Antonio Box from Tennessee. A couple of sleepers in the class are Notre Dame's Shane Rosenthal and wide receiver Dominique Hicks from Cincinnati. Hicks is not real fast, but he's going to be a very productive possession receiver in the NFL because he runs great routes and has sticky hands. I'll be back later with more on the draft.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I mean, Jake Denali here at number 2, and I mean, Anquan Taylor at number 4. Can we feasibly get up that high to take one of them? I mean, the quarterbacks, once you get to where we are picking, they have us actually taking a quarterback. Even, like, it's crazy. The game knows we should take a quarterback. Our quarterback coach quit. I feel like everyone understands that Jared May is just not that guy. Like all the signs are telling me he's just not that guy. And, like, they say we should take a quarterback, and that they're predicting us to take a quarterback, and our quarterback coach leaves us, and man, like, it's just, I don't know how we're going to figure this one out, and this could just be a situation where we kind of get stuck with, you know, in a bad situation, get stuck maybe in QB purgatory here, and I just hope that isn't the case, but we're going to try. Now, we're looking at where some of these top defensive players are going. We're not going to go after Richard Seymour. I'm interested in D'Amico Ryans, but I don't know if I am going to go out here and make a move to pay him. He wants, you know, it would take close to $6 million a year. I'm gonna pass on a 5-year deal. So disappointing to not get him, but then you go and look at Sean Merriman, who is asking for a 5-year, $33 million deal. He's 26 years old, and for those of you who remember, Mr. Lights Out, he was so awesome before injury struck his career down. Now, I wasn't willing to go close to $6 million for D'Amico Ryans, but how about close to $6 million for Sean Merriman? And I know we signed Thomas Howard last year. That doesn't mean we can't have two great players coexist in the same linebacking room. Like I said, for those of you who know Sean Merriman, you know how great he was. And for those of you who don't, I highly suggest you take a look at Mr. Lights Out and kind of see what he was able to do in San Diego, because he was incredible. One of the hottest starts a defensive player has had, in the 2000s before injuries really struck him down. He was a superstar, though. And having him and Thomas Howard now at linebacker, that's going to be big. And when it comes to what player I'm going to empty the bank account to try to get, we have $20 million in cap room left. I need Antonio Cromartie on this team. We need him. Packers and Dolphins were fighting. We get Antonio Cromartie for 6.2 on the cap, so a $35 million contract for Antonio Cromartie. So we went out and stole the Chargers defense a little bit, taking two of their top guys, but this was a big need for us. We have been looking for a true number one cornerback, and I think we finally got our guy. Now, you might be wondering, like, Cromartie, yeah, that makes sense, but why go after Sean Merriman when you have Thomas Howard? You franchise tagged Mike Vrabel, you have London Fletcher, you drafted Michael Poe last year. You don't need 5 linebackers. Trust me, we have plans to make this all work, and not all of them will be sticking around. One of them, at the very least, will be going, but we wanted to get younger, wanted to get better. Clinton Portis, he wants a 3-year contract for $21 million. Dolphins and Packers, once again, are looking. And at $6 million on a cap hit for Clinton Portis at 29 years old, we are going to say no. Clinton Portis is leaving. We're going to let him go to the Green Bay Packers. I wanted to see Clinton Portis stick around in Washington for longer, but I just 29-year-old running back on a 3-year contract. He showed regression last year, got a little banged up. I think it's important for us also, when we had one of the best offenses in the league, to focus on the defense a little bit more, and we brought in 2 big defensive players. Davin Joseph here, 27-year-old, 90 overall guard. I wasn't interested because we have an offensive line, but nobody offered on him, so why not? Davin Joseph, 90 overall guard. We had 4 of our 5 offensive linemen make the Pro Bowl this year. The only spot that didn't was right guard. Well, in the NFC, Davin Joseph made the Pro Bowl at guard. And if you want to question this signing, well, Davin Joseph on a 5-year, $22 million contract, or a 35-year-old Randy Thomas who's getting paid like twice as much. Randy Thomas, I have been kind of looking to move on from, and I fully expected to go in and maybe draft a mid-round player or get a stopgap type of player, but when the opportunity presents itself to sign a really talented player on a really cheap contract, why would I not take that? I mean, $4 million for a 90 overall guard. Yeah, you could look at 3.7 on the cap or 6.6. He is just 1 overall worse, and he is, 8 years younger? We're moving on from Randy Thomas. So I know the money situation's looking a little rough right now, but Randy Thomas will be gone. Somehow, some way, either we cut him, or if we can get a good trade offer for him, he will be gone. That is the future plan there. So we have kind of doubled down on the offensive line and basically swapped out a 91 overall at $6.6 million for a 90 overall younger player on a cheaper deal. I think that's an amazing move to make. I wouldn't have made that move if there was people in a bidding war. I wasn't going to get into a bidding war for an offensive lineman after what we did last year, but no one contesting? I mean, I'll take the cheap deal all day. So we're on to pro days now, and I'm not really interested in making a whole lot more big signings or anything. We're going to look at Jake Denali's pro day, obviously, and I'm only showing you the notable ones. We're obviously going to see the Hutch twins play. So, there's 25 pro days. I'm not going to show you every single one of them because some of them aren't too notable, but obviously want to see Jake Denali, want to see the Hutch twins, we want to see Anquan Taylor, we want to see some of these other guys. Notre Dame, a really talented team. Mike Fitzgerald was a player talked about. They said Shane Rosenthal is a sleeper guy, so want to go see the Notre Dame pro day and some of these others, but it's an interesting scenario we have put ourselves in, and we have another signing. We want to make this one a little less exciting, I guess, but we do need a kicker. Janikowski was not great for us, and I mean, we'll go and get Jay Feely, who's a little bit more of an accurate kicker. They wanted us to acquire an 85 overall kicker or better. He was the one out there. We went and signed him for a $2 million contract. I guess if you're also wondering, well, you have Mike Vrabel and whoever else you may want to get rid of at linebacker. You have Randy Thomas still. Well, what are you waiting for? We got to do something here. Also, something that is very much worth noting. How about Calais Campbell demanding to be traded from the Cardinals? And I see Calais Campbell, and I'm at $400K on an expiring deal. I'm all over that. Demanded to be traded. But the Cardinals are out here asking for a nuts offer. I mean, you have no leverage here. He is a cheap player on the final year of his contract demanding a trade. I don't know what kind of leverage you think you got. I'm not offering like a first or a second round pick for Calais Campbell. We'll see how that unfolds though. But what we're kind of looking for right now is, one, we need a running back in the draft. I would still like another cornerback. We need a safety bad still. Safety in free agency was rough. I haven't been able to really make a move for one. We have an individual workouts, but I'm kind of waiting for the draft to see how that all unfolds, because I want as much ammunition on this team as humanly possible to try to see if we can make a trade up. I don't know if trading into the top 5 is going to be possible, but I think it's at least worth making a try. If we can package first this year, first next year, Randy Thomas, or first whoever else. I'm willing to trade Randy Thomas, Antoine Randall, some of these older players. I'm willing to trade Mike Vrabel. I'm willing to trade London Fletcher. I'm willing to trade somebody. So the goal is simply just keep as many assets as you have humanly possible to try to make a move up in the draft. And things are also heating up because Calais Campbell has now just demanded to be released by the Cardinals.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network back with a Pro Day workout update. I just returned from Texas's Pro Day, and I can't stop talking about this cornerback, Eric Crosby. He's a rock-solid prospect in much the mold of former Longhorn star Quentin Jammer. He's very physical and looked very sharp in one-on-one drills. I see him moving his way into the top 10 picks of this draft. Another cornerback prospect I've been following closely is Emil Watson of Kentucky. He's a perfect fit for the cover 2 scheme that's so popular in the NFL today. He plays outstanding zone coverage and has great experience in the cover 2, since that's Kentucky's basic defensive coverage scheme. One pro day that was not heavily attended by NFL player personnel was the Liberty University Pro Day. You would have missed out on Bobby Bailey, a 6'3" cornerback prospect who has great speed and can cover any receiver step for step. He's obviously raw, but he showed at the Pro Day, even though there weren't many scouts there, why some teams need to take more notice of Bobby Bailey from Liberty.
So we're talking about this draft. I guess we'll focus on that. We got the individual workouts. Bobby Bailey does interest me quite a bit, and not only because of what I seen from him, but also the comp on him was pretty fun. It was Antonio Cromartie, who, well, we just signed. So I think you've been kind of seeing, if you've been watching and not just listening, I've been going after a lot of running backs here, and I want to get as much info because whoever we draft at running back is the guy for us. Robert Metcalf is the next one we're kind of looking at. Brian Westbrook is the comp. Now, don't throw around the names of Brian Westbrook and Marshawn Lynch as comps for also Desmond Duffy. I don't throw those around pretty lightly, so for those to be the comps, pretty interested in them. We also got some other running backs on the board that we were looking at. We were basically just saying, hey, we need running back, and if the situation presents itself for quarterback, we are going to go for it. But Robert Metcalf is going to be the next guy we take a look at. After the individual workouts, we will get another set of draft stories, and we will see how that all unfolds. Antonio Box, one of the more highly profile players in this draft. I wanted to take a look at him as well because he's comped to Brandon Merriweather, who was our starting safety. So if we can just get a better version of the player we scouted, we're going to go after both the top 2 safeties, so I thought that was pretty important to get an eye on them. And then for the final one, I still want to get another corner. We'll kind of just take a peek at who else we have to, be interested in. I wanted to take a look at Justin Cobb, though, who ran that 4.22 40.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's the individual workout NFL draft update. A few NFL teams brought in Jason Pasinger of USF for workouts recently, and the scouts are excited about the potential this kid has. He's a big-time deep threat receiver who is beating the corners over and over again for scores during his workout. Then he turned around and ran a 4.36 40-yard dash, which got everyone talking. His regular season numbers were nothing great. 44 catches, 520 yards, 4 touchdowns. So if you missed this workout, you might not really know that much about Pasinger. Another popular workout was Miami's Rondell Mabry. He reinforced everyone's opinion of him being the next K2, Kellen Winslow. He's a great athlete who runs outstanding pass patterns and catches everything in sight. That's it for today. I'll see you at the NFL Draft.
So to take a peek at what these players look like, Anquan Taylor has 88 potential, but I think if I were to change the, philosophy to be more of a dual threat type, it would go up a lot more. Jake Denali, though, potential's his biggest thing, and that's disappointing because I'd put it as a pure passer, and that's what he is, so it kind of stinks a little bit. Desmond Duffy, though, 90 overall Marshawn Lynch comp. I'm definitely interested. Other running backs do include Tashard McDuffie, Steven Jackson comp. Not quite as good, 87 overall, but I do think that could be a little bit of a schematic thing for us that we can adjust a bit. Calvin Cashmont, though, 93 potential, 97 juke, 94 elusiveness. Really exciting looking player. Same with Brian Westbrook comp here. Robert Metcalf. I think both of those guys could be really exciting players for us. So definitely a strong running back class. 4 guys that are definitely worth taking a look at. Antonio Box, really disappointing. He's got a good coverage stats, good athleticism, but just 85 potential, so not going to get a whole lot better. And then you got guys like Brady Weidenhofer, who got 89 potential. The only difference with him that's a little disappointing is he's 25 years old. Justin Cobb, really poor. He's fast, but that's about it. And then the Antonio Cromartie comp, Bobby Bailey, 80 potential. Really disappointing because I thought he could be a really nice find in the second round. Also, Calais Campbell got cut. He demanded his release. Well, he got it. So we'll see what that looks like because I might be a little interested in Calais Campbell. We'll see how that unfolds considering free agency's over and we're on to the draft. But I will say that the draft process for me took a long time. I'm cutting out a lot of footage because I did everything I could to try and make a trade up. Anquan Taylor was a guy who I really wanted. He was the quarterback I kind of identified, and I think he would be the most fun one to have. We went into the draft expecting him to go top 5. I did everything I could. I threw everything I could onto the trade block. I threw every player I could onto the trade block. I did everything I could. The Texans didn't want to trade up. I wasn't expecting that. They go Crosby number 1. But I had a lot of tries at this. Jake Denali goes number 2. Arizona State quarterback goes to Arizona, making a little bit of sense there. The Steelers, they go Sugar Campbell. But the Jaguars were the team he was projected to go to. I knew with Campbell going off the board, I had to go with the Jaguars. I did everything I could. I threw everybody I could on the trade block. Even just for the sake of experiment, I threw guys like Travian Davis onto the trade block, and no matter what I did, the Jaguars said no. And that's just how it goes sometimes in this game. They didn't want to trade no matter what I did. And sometimes you just don't get your way, and you just got to sit back and watch.
This guy, Anquan Taylor, out of Buffalo, has broken every school record known to mankind from that school. With over 4,600 passing yards this season, over 15,000 for his career, and 77 touchdowns, Anquan Taylor is easily my #1 valued player. I appreciate what TJ Nunn can do for you. I mean, who couldn't with that speed? But when you have an athlete like Taylor who can throw the ball so accurately and with such power, you draft him the first chance you get.
And I think what hurts even more is when you get to pick number 5, the Chicago Bears. 5 was the spot where we could have made a realistic trade up. If this were the trade, a first, a second, and Jared May to go up and get Anquan Taylor, I think I would have made that trade because I wanted to get a new quarterback. I wanted to get somebody, but 5th was the highest we could possibly have traded it up. Anquan Taylor went 4. There was just nothing we could do there. 3 quarterbacks go in the top 5, and we were left on the outside looking in.
Get the ball in TJ Nunn's hands now and thank me later. This fire plug out of Ohio State not only catches footballs, returns kicks, takes end arounds, and lines up at quarterback occasionally, he also runs track for the reigning Big Ten track champion Buckeyes. This kid can absolutely fly, and he has every move Reggie Bush has, plus Dante Hall in his heyday. Antonio Box, or A-Box as all of Tennessee's internet message boards call him, is an elite NFL safety prospect with his 4.4 speed and ferocious hitting reputation. He was famous in Tennessee for going through like 8 to 9 helmets this past season from the hard hitting he was dishing out during the games. He was cracking his own helmets. You can only imagine what the opponent wound up looking like.
2 awesome players go off the board there, Box and Nunn. We didn't even have a chance at Box, even though I would have still been interested, even though the potential was a little bit low. I think he still had a lot of talent to him. I think I still want to make a move, but I think we're going to be looking more so towards the bottom of the first round, top of the second round to be making any moves. I don't think there's any top-tier talent we're going to be going after in this one.
Jeremiah Hutch is one half of the Hutch linebacker twin duo with identical brother Jeremiah. This Hutch's specialty is rushing the quarterback with his array of pass rush moves. Pursuit angles are excellent, and he has impressive closing speed when zeroing in on the sack. Watch out for Jeremiah.
I always keep the phone lines open. Seahawks here at 11. I want to make sure I at least secure a running back, and Duffy goes to the Seahawks at 11. This was the guy who was comped to Marshawn Lynch, and in a universe before the Seahawks ended up trading for Marshawn Lynch from the Bills, them drafting him actually makes a lot of sense. The Lions still kind of stuck without a quarterback. Remember, they offered us a first for Jared May. We said no.
Rashad Carter is your typical do-everything, pass-rush, run-stop, brick-wall defensive tackle, and that's a mouthful. He's a 3-year starter from Georgia Tech. He also has a 4.1 GPA, and Carter is a slam dunk of a first-round defensive tackle prospect, as you'll ever see in this business.
Solid stuff there, but yeah, I mean, I think we can go back to that Jared May thing and really look at it and say, well, probably a good thing we didn't trade him, even though I'm not a big Jared May fan. If we traded him, sure, we'd have another first-round pick for next year's draft, but what the heck would we do this year? Because free agency stunk it up, and in the draft, I mean, we're not even going to get a chance to take anybody. Like, whatever quarterback may make it to our pick, it's not going to be one that I want to have, and I don't know if he's even going to be that much better than Jared May. So, fortunately, it looks like we're stuck with May for another season. But again, maybe some Jared May believers are out there, and they think he's going to take another step up. Maybe he could prove me wrong. Maybe this is the big narrative of this franchise, is Jared May just proves me wrong. But yeah, we're not getting any opportunities here to make any moves up. We're going to be approaching the 20s. I'm still just kind of keeping my eyes open, seeing what's available to us. I'm looking to trade one of these players, get some of that money off of our books.
Remember Mike Williams a few drafts ago? Great college wide receiver from USC, huge size, didn't really work out so well in Detroit. Well, Myron Hartline is built identical to Mike Williams, but he plays with so much more intensity and fire. In his only 2 seasons at USC, he shattered all of Dwayne Jarrett and Mike Williams' records with 42 touchdowns. 42! The guy was a machine. The marching band loved him. Hartline is going to be a great pro.
We don't got to wait that much longer for our draft pick to pop up, nor do we have to wait that much longer for the next draft story to pop up, because the New England Patriots are going to have us with a tight end.
Rondell Mabry led the Miami Hurricanes offense this year with over 1,000 yards as a tight end. Something tells me you'll see more of that here at the next level. Some call Mabry brash, but as he told me in a pre-draft interview on NFL Network, if you've got it, flaunt it. Not all talk, though. Mabry led the Hurricanes in pancake blocks as well, proving he's not all about finesse in his game. He's got some maple syrup in there, too.
You know what? Honestly, that's a pretty valid pick for the Patriots. Get yourself a great receiving tight end who's got a bit of a personality to him. Yeah, I think that makes a little bit of sense, but pick 25 on the board. The Eagles don't really want to make a trade with them. We pick here at 27. Right before us, the Denver Broncos. They were maybe interested in making a trade. I am interested in doubling up on bottom of the first round picks because there are players that I do want/need. Like, it's more than just a want. There is a need here for some other players on the board, and if I can give up London Fletcher, who we do have excess at linebacker with the signing of Sean Merriman, and we still haven't been able to find a deal for Mike Vrabel, so I mean, we can probably keep Mike Vrabel for another season as well. And London Fletcher being 35 years old, as much as personally I love him, we're not going to be able to get the job done here, but he seems like the odd one out and the one to go.
Twin brother Jeremiah Hutch is the other half of the very talented twin brother team from Alabama. Y. Hutch is a middle backer who's not the biggest linebacker you'll come across, but he's a vacuum cleaner when it comes to getting the job done and finishing off the play. He should have no trouble adjusting to the NFL game with his quick learning and great study habits.
I'm going to be so honest, I really wanted Jeremiah Hutch. I don't think it's going to be a surprise. Why? We tried to sign D'Amico Ryans. We didn't want to spend the money on that. The comp for Jeremiah Hutch was D'Amico Ryans, and if I had the opportunity to build this linebacking core the way I wanted Thomas Howard, Sean Merriman, Michael Poe, Jeremiah Hutch, get rid of Vrabel, get rid of London Fletcher, get rid of the older guys, and have that be our 4 linebackers. That's not going to happen, but we are here on the clock at 27, and running back is the need. And I think if there is a running back we are going to go, it's going to be Calvin Cashmont. I think that was the right pick and a really exciting player. No draft story to be talked about, but he did get brought up. He was a 5'6", I guess measured in at 5'7" running back, but we also have a little bit more action to have here because there was another player on the board that we very much do need, and the Raiders are interested in making a move here. So Antwaan Randle El and London Fletcher are both players that they are interested in. I think we should be making a move up here. We could move up from 38, but I want to do a little bit more than that. I want to keep that second round pick, and I think giving up Antwaan Randle El a 6th and a 5th. Antwaan Randle El coming off a 1,300-yard season. I know that maybe is crazy to trade Antwaan Randle El for a first-round pick, but he's coming off a 1,300-yard season. He's 31 years old, and to throw him in there with a 4th-round pick, we don't need Antwaan Randle El that badly. At the end of the day, he is our number 3 wide receiver. I think that this is a situation, sell high on Randle El and try to upgrade elsewhere. Now, if we wanted to just go basically trade Antwaan Randle El and a 4th-round pick for a younger receiver, I think it is interesting. Paysinger is on the board, and he was talked about a little bit as like a late bloomer. Mike Fitzgerald, a very reliable receiver, comp to Anquan Boldin, definitely exciting. Dominique Hicks was also a sleeper, according to Todd McShay, you know, a possession receiver. We don't have that. I would like to have that, but I don't think it's smart for us to just basically trade Antwaan Randle El for a receiver who, even if we like, will just be straight up worse. I am trying to take away assets from the offense to help our defense and to give, I guess, Jared May as much of an opportunity as he can this season to be good. Edwin Smith is a player that really interests me. 73 speed, 93 strength with some upside strength learning. 92 learning is his stuff right there for, you know, his mental. But I really like the skill set here. And at 23 years old, I'm interested. But at safety, Brady Weidenhofer, 80 zone coverage, 89 potential. We don't have a free safety. We have been struggling to find a free safety. We have not been able to do anything about the safety position. I know he's 25 years old, but we need a safety too badly, and I think that is a good pick there to fill out a massive gap. That was the biggest hole on our team when it came to just not even having a competent player. Now we're on the board here, 2nd round pick number 38. The receivers, a lot of them still on the board. Not only that, though, Edwin Smith still on the board as well. So you also have Robert Metcalf. Now, we did just take Calvin Cashmont, but why not go double up on running back? Maybe that could be an interesting thing to do. So I think our options here, Metcalf at running back, maybe Paysinger at wide receiver. Fitzgerald did get taken. Fitzgerald probably was the one that was the best one, but Paysinger does fit the scheme of being a speed receiver. But do we want 3 speed guys? Maybe somebody that could give us something else in the receiving game. Edwin Smith is the player I just keep coming back to as a team that just needs more defensive line help, and I mean, he's just got it. Like, he's just got maybe not the highest floor, but man, the strength, the athleticism, he's got everything I want in terms of the athleticism at that position for strength, the interior presence that he could have, and I think with the 92 learning and some of the other stuff that he has, he could be a high upside player, and upside was one of his 3 things. So I think there's also a trade to be made here, not too far away, pick 40. The Rams in our negotiations have been interested in London Fletcher, and I am interested in giving them London Fletcher. I think there's still more on the board to be interested in, so London Fletcher and a couple of later round picks is kind of the move here, because Fletcher is still a really nice, productive player for us. I mean, he made the Pro Bowl like 2 years ago. Like, he's still competent, but we just have such a wealth of linebacker talent that I don't need him right now, and we got the offer accepted. London Fletcher, a 5th and a 6th to move to pick 40. And when I initially got this pick, I was thinking, do we go wide receiver to replace Antwaan Randle El? Do we maybe go running back, Robert Metcalf, double up on running back? Because that would be interesting. Do we go maybe long-term tight end replacement? But I think if I'm going offense, Metcalf is the one that interests me, a receiving back who's got high potential. And, you know, if Portis being gone hurts, you know, get 2 guys to fill the gap. But then as I scrolled down, I kind of stumbled upon something that really interested me. And it wasn't somebody that I was originally looking at, because I was like, man, Paysinger, still here on the board. He was like projected to go long ago. But, I mean, I just don't know enough about him. If I knew his Senior Bowl stuff and I knew how good his hands were, I'd probably take him if he had good hands. I just don't know enough to make that decision. But as I scrolled down, got by Metcalf, again, I'm kind of looking at it like, man, double up on running backs would be kind of I don't know if that'd be irresponsible or not, but as we scroll down a little bit more, cornerback, I need a little bit more man coverage from you. Zone coverage is great, but I need a little bit more man coverage. Don't need an offensive lineman anymore because we signed our other guy, Davin Joseph. But then Tremaine Dutch, he was a draft story. 90 speed, 84 strength at defensive end. A guy who can play edge rusher. He's got good pursuit. He's got hit power. He is an absurd athlete. And I don't know, man, like just seeing that level of athleticism just had me so interested. And instead of doubling up on running back, how about double up on the defensive line and really try to make this defense worth something this year? So Tremaine Dutch, how about going with him?
Tremaine Dutch was the talk of the combine with his amazing 40 bench press reps at 225 and the blazing fast time of 4.36 for a defensive end, which had scouts running for their notepads to mark down all the notes that they had seen of this improbable feat. Well, it paid off, landing him in round 1 of the NFL draft.
Hey, Shefty, close but not quite. That was not round 1 of the draft, but close, I guess. Top 10 in round 2. But here were the ultimate trades that we ended up making to close out the first 2 rounds. Antoine Randall L. and a 4th round pick for the 28th pick. That got us a safety. And we traded London Fletcher and 2 day 3 picks to end up getting another second. I guess we'll see how that ends up panning out in the long run if we end up winning or losing those trades. But now we are back on the clock here late in the 3rd round. I mean, there is a tackle that's just sitting here that's like should have been a 1st round pick, but the thing is I just don't need a tackle. Like I'm not taking offensive linemen like with high premium picks anymore. Nolan Warren really interests me. How about 80 power moves and 96 strength at D tackle? And we really do kind of want another D tackle, a number 2 guy, but we are very much lacking when it comes to day 3 picks. So I wanted to make a trade to get a little bit more quantity later on in the draft, because when you've seen the picks that we had earlier in the draft, we had a 1, 2, and 3, but I don't think we had a 4, I don't think we had a 5, or like a 6, or we had something like that. We didn't have a 4 and a 5, I'm pretty sure. So I wanted something like this. The Bills give us a 4, 5, and 6 for us to move down. So we get to the 4th round here, pick 122, and the guys on the board right now look like, and some of them, there was some interesting players, but I think the guy that really interested me the most was Terrence Horton, you know, considering we did just trade London Fletcher. And while linebacker isn't like a striking, desperate need for us, I would like, you know, something to be a little bit more of a long-term piece for us, and he does look pretty good for a 4th round pick. So then on to the 5th round. This is the other pick that we got from the Bills trade. We'll also have a 6th rounder in there. I think the guy I'm looking at, another defensive lineman, 83 finesse moves, 74 power moves, 88 strength, 57 speed, yes, but 280 pounds could be maybe a little bit of a hybrid player for us. As you could see, the assignment was clear. Let's get this defense going a little bit. Safety, linebacker signings, and defensive line drafting. So I want to make sure this defense is able to come out here, and if Jared May is going to be our quarterback, then hey, let's make him not have to score a whole lot of points. So wide receiver, I did make a trade up, giving up some 7th. Greg Butler was a player I was interested in. And then with our 6th and 7th round picks, we're just going to be taking a couple of flyers on some running backs and other playmakers, cornerback as well. I did want to potentially get another cornerback because even though Braylon Beaudreau and Antonio Cromartie do excite me as like a ball hawking duo, I would have liked a 3rd guy because I think Braylon Beaudreau is going to settle in as a quality number 3, but I don't know if he's going to be a quality number 2 for us. But take another running back here in the 7th round. And as we wrap up this draft, how about another wide receiver, J. Michael Mizzle, who is going to be our 7th round pick, 219. So, you know, this game doesn't always let you do what you want to do sometimes. You sometimes get forced into situations where you just don't always get what you want. I mean, we wanted to trade up for a quarterback. They just said no. So we're going to go and make some little free agent moves to kind of fill out the rest of this roster. I think is a 1-year stopgap fill-in. Hines Ward is slow as dirt. He's 76 speed, but hey, how about the catching, the release, the route running? 99 catch in traffic, 99 release. He's just slow. We can use that as a filler. So Calais Campbell, I mean, the story with him throughout the offseason, demanded to be traded. They wouldn't trade him. Demanded to be released. Eventually, they fought on it. They released him. Now, would it be unfair for us to just go out and sign Calais Campbell to a 1-year, $2 million deal? I don't know if that'd be cheesy or a little bit, but I really want Calais Campbell on this team. And here's kind of the deal I'll make with you guys. I don't want to be unrealistic and just spam sign all these top players, because I always avoid signing the top guys. But Calais Campbell is one I'll make an exception for, because one, I don't know what Calais Campbell was on this game. 94 speed, 95 excel. What in the absolute heck is that? Like, why is he so fast at 6'7", 290? Calais Campbell has never ran that fast in his life. On top of that, he's 84 strength and a whole bunch of pass rushing moves. So the thing is, what I'll do here, I'll sign Calais Campbell, but I will give him a contract extension when the opportunity presents itself. And to make things a little bit more fair, I'll straight up cut Randy Thomas instead of trading him. I could probably trade Randy Thomas for some sort of draft pick, but as a fair trade, I guess, we'll essentially cut Randy Thomas with the intent of signing Calais Campbell. So we traded basically an 88 overall, or we traded a 91 overall for an 88 overall, and we're going to pay the 88 overall. So I think that's a little bit more fair, that we didn't cheese the game. We didn't sign him and then trade Randy Thomas. And I'm doing something to, like, you know, nerf myself a little bit so I don't get too overpowered. Thomas Howard is going to be the guy we move into middle linebacker. I mean, yeah, he had 14 sacks last year, but he has skill sets to play middle linebacker, also had 4 interceptions. So the linebacking core is going to be Poe and Howard in the middle, Vrabel and Merriman on the outside. And our rookie deal with Calvin Cashmont is here. And you know, when you get a later first-round pick, you don't got to pay him all that much. So I'm happy to give him a 5-year, $13 million contract. But I guess I wanted to touch on the thing I brought up earlier is sometimes you just don't get what you want. You know, if this were like Madden or some other game, you know, I can just eventually keep giving something up until they eventually accept the trade. Sometimes a team will just tell you no. Like, you just get told no, and we are forced into a situation where, well, we didn't get the chance to draft a quarterback. And that happens in real life. You just don't get the chance. So, Jared May is going to be the quarterback for this season. Some may be excited by that, some may not be. But the thing is, for May, hey, he has the opportunity to earn the right to be this team's QB of the future. His contract is expiring this year. He'll be a restricted free agent. And if the situation kind of dictates that he develops well, he progresses well, he's going to be the guy, he has a better season, then maybe we roll with Jared May for the future. If not, I mean, we will not hesitate to be even more aggressive next year in making a move. But I think that at the very least, we've set him up for a situation where he has to do better. It's on him to do better. The defense is objectively, like, really good now. I mean, we literally just added Calais Campbell, 2 defensive ends in the draft. We added Sean Merriman. We added Antonio Cromartie, and we drafted a safety in the first round. And on offense, yeah, we lost Antoine Randall, and we lost Clinton Portis, but, I mean, we drafted a first-round running back, and he still has 2 perennially Pro Bowl receivers in Devasio Combs and Santana Moss. It's on him to succeed here, and you presume that also Chris Cooley will actually be able to be healthy this year as well, but it's on him. And if he doesn't do it, then yeah, we're out on Jared May. If he does though, then maybe I've been too harsh on him. Let me know if you think I have actually been too harsh on him. But we're gonna see what these rookies look like. We got to the end of the preseason. The rookie report, we already knew what Cashmont and Weidenhofer's potentials were, but we drafted our first legit bust of the draft, and this one kind of hurts a little bit. Tremaine Dutch. I moved him to linebacker eventually because he had some athleticism, and I thought, like, maybe there's something there, but he stinks. He's basically capped out, and I thought with his athleticism, like, man, you know, you get that speed and strength, you can maybe do something with it. Well, no. He can't cover, he can't rush the passer, his max power and finesse move are 65 and 66. He's never going to be anything. So I moved him to outside linebacker just so he can be a special teamer and you can have that speed, strength, pursuit on special teams. But that's disappointing. I mean, we just spent a 40th overall draft pick on him. And, you know, again, that can just happen. Some guys just don't have it. And he was a combine warrior. And again, that happens in real life. I mean, somebody goes out there, has a nuts combine, gets drafted way higher than they should. And it turns out they just don't got it. And, hey, we fell for the trap. It is what it is. But you know, we worked out things on the other end where Greg Butler, you know, a guy we traded up for in like the 5th round, 87 potential. I think maybe he has somewhat of a ceiling for us to be a number 3 receiver if all goes right. He's got some hands to him. He's got some good athleticism and agility. And I guess we also made up for it because look at Marcus Long. This is an undrafted rookie who has 89 potential and is an 82 overall. So, I mean, this is what we were hoping for Tremaine Dutch, but we got it from Marcus Long. Now you might be sitting here saying, wow, that's super lucky, 82 overall, 89 potential. The issue is, though, he's on a 1-year contract, and he's really good, so he's going to want a contract extension, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay him, especially considering we just got Calais Campbell, who we already promised to pay. Brady Weidenhofer is going to be pretty nice. 89 potential. He has a max of 91 zone coverage, 90 speed, 89 excel, and I mean, 82 tackling, that's serviceable. 85 hit power, that's pretty solid. 85 block shit, we're happy with that. 90 pursuit, and he has good play rec, good awareness. 90 awareness, or 95 awareness, 90 play rec. So he's going to be a smart, good zone cover safety. That is what we needed on this team. Edwin Smith, we took 2 DNs in the second round. One was a terrible whiff, one was a massive hit. How about that? 91 potential, good pass rush moves, good tackling, solid block shedding, solid pursuit, good play rec, solid awareness, 94 strength at his max, could be pretty athletic, gonna have a nice set of skills to him, so we're happy with that. And then the star of the show here, Calvin Cashmont, is going to be this team's running back this season. And it's a big ask to just fill the shoes of Clinton Portis, but he has all the talent in the world. How about a max of 97 elusiveness? He's going to have 77 carrying, which could be a little scary, but 89 ball carrier vision at his max. We're going to hope he can get there pretty quickly. Spin move, pretty nice, but how about a 98 juke move? We're just going to hope he never has to get injured, because 67 toughness is a little scary. It's kind of why I wanted to get another running back. 5'7", 195 is not a type of player that you want to give a workload for, but we re-signed Chuck Whitfield off the streets, gave him another 1-year contract extension. So this is what the team is going to look like. It's Jared May. We downgraded from Antoine Randall, but we got a possession receiver in Hines Ward to be a 1-year stopgap fill-in. And, you know, Josh Zimmerman as well has some nice potential. He didn't have as good of a season last year. I mean, he had just 4 catches, but he does have some skills to him. Not a whole lot of awareness. About 21 awareness and no spec catch, no release, no catch in traffic. But hey, he's fast and he does some things, so we'll see how he ends up developing, but we'll give Butler the nod at the number 4 receiver. But you can kind of see what the roster looks like. Let me know what you all thought of this offseason. Ultimately, I think this season comes down to, do you guys believe in Jared May? Are you Jared May believers or are you Jared May haters? Because if you believe, then you think that this team can go far with Calais Campbell and Edwin Smith, Tommy Harris, a stacked linebacking core, Antonio Cromartie, and this overhauled secondary. I think this defense has everything it needs to be one of the better defenses in the league talent-wise. If you believe in Jared May and this offense, maybe you think also, maybe Jared May is just mid and Calvin Cashmont comes out and has a nuclear season. Tell me what you think this team will be next year, though. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you guys are all excited for season 4 of this NFL Head Coach 09 little franchise mode that I'm doing. I absolutely love this game and I'm still having fun with it. And, you know, I already got more and more recorded and more on the way. I want to make this kind of the spring/summer series leading into college football 26. So, you know, expect to see more of it. And I hope you all are enjoying it. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you all think. And I will see you guys all in the next one.